Television. Right now we take you to the Committee on Local Government Accounts, and the LUSAKA State Council is reappearing before the committee. Good afternoon. That one. So good afternoon. Thank you so much. This is Parliament Radio, Parliament Television rather, the only station dedicated to bring Parliament closer to you. Remember, the Committee on Local Government Accounts is considering the report of the Auditor General on the Constituency Development Fund for the financial year ended at 31st December 2023. Now, the committee has so far received submissions from various local authorities, and of course, we acknowledge our viewers following the proceedings right here on our official Facebook page. That's the National Assembly of Zambia, and you can also follow the proceedings on Parliament Radio on various frequencies. Right now we take you to the committee.
TC, you can settle down. You can take your seats. Two more can come this side. Yes. Another one next to the TC, even here. Yes. Lusaka City Council, welcome to your committee. As you are aware, this is a reappearance. We want to extend Cap 12 of the laws of Zambia to you and your team that members of parliament enjoy when they sit in parliament, TC. This is extended to you to the extent that whatever you say before this committee cannot be used against you in the courts of law or outside this committee, as long as you are factual. However, the same Cap 12 can be used against you if you choose to mislead or to give false information to this committee. It is my belief that you will not take us into the latter where you give false information, because the same Cap 12 shall be evoked. With that said, I want to say that you are welcome once again, Town Clerk and your team. This is not a court, and I want to emphasize, as I appeal to you to settle down. This is not a court. This is us trying to appreciate or check why certain things were done the way they were highlighted by Auditor General's office. And I want to make it very clear, you being the city number 1 of Zambia, that whatever you are doing today, we are doing today. If it were done during the time of audit, during the time that you are working in your offices, you wouldn't appear here. Here you can manufacture information. It doesn't change what the auditors picked. So we are trying to just bring out, why did you do what you did? Had you done these things there, you are not supposed to, you are not going to appear. So that should be noted, so that you don't struggle as to why we are asking you. If you had done those things there, you wouldn't have been here. Would have said city number 1 is number 1. But because you were picked by auditors, you are appearing. So you are appearing as a witness, not that you are in court. So with that said, take us through your report, because I've noted I carried the original one, the one you presented, and there's some slight changes with this one. So for the sake of the TV and the public who are following us, they want to see and know what happened, you can take us through this report. Before you do that, Town Clerk, sorry, assumption that we met before was the numbers grown big, and it's just a standard that we need to know each other. The public want to know who is appearing before us. You introduce yourselves by giving your names and your titles, starting with yourself, Town Clerk.
Thank you so much, Chair, and good afternoon.
Afternoon.
Good afternoon, honorable members. My name is Lifter Ndawa, Town Clerk, Lusaka.
Good afternoon, Chair. Good afternoon, honorable members. My name is Francis Piri, Director Finance.
Thank you. So just a matter of guidance. Those behind there, those who can walk there can do so. Those here, you can come near to this mic so that when time comes, you just walk there and introduce yourselves. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Chair. My name is Victor Chawinga, Director Engineering Services.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Chair. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Beatrice Ngambi, Chief Internal Auditor.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Chair. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sifaya Mahinga, the Assistant Director of Finance, Technical Services. Thank you.
Okay.
Good afternoon, Chair. Good afternoon, honorable members of this committee. Good afternoon to the permanent witnesses. My name is Kabu Skwibele. I'm Director Legal Services for the City of Lusaka. Thanks.
Good afternoon, Chair. My name is Begi Chanda, Director City Planning. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Chair. My name is Victor Kawe, Chief Accountant, Technical.
Good afternoon, Chair. I'm Joseph Kanungo, Head Procurement Officer. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Chair. My name is Devino Kawanda. I'm a Socio-Economic Planner.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Chair. I'm Rachel Daka, Assistant Director, Engineering Services.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Chair.
Good afternoon.
I'm Olinda Chirwaskaze, former Assistant Director, Finance.
Okay.
Good afternoon, Chair. I'm Poka Puta, Chief Accountant, Technical Services.
Good afternoon, Chair and all members of Parliament. My name is Gwenin Koani, Manager Training Standards from Teveta.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Chair. Good afternoon, honorable members. My name is Peno Paongola, Socio-Economic Planner.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Chair. Good afternoon, honorable members. My name is Audrey Daka, Socio-Economic Planner.
We are done. Can I have now AG's office?
Good afternoon, Chair and members of Parliament. Good afternoon, Lusaka City Council. My name is Evelyn Mutandwa, Director in charge of Lusaka Provincial Audit Office.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Chair. Good afternoon, honorable members of Parliament. Good afternoon, Town Clerk and your team. My name is Edna Piri, Senior Auditor, Lusaka Provincial Audit Office.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. I am Lovinda Sinyani from the Planning and Research Department in the Office of the Auditor General. Thank you.
Thank you. Finance?
Good afternoon, Chair. Good afternoon, honorable members. Good afternoon, TC and your management team. My name is Mlenga Chama, coming from the Office of Accountant General.
Good afternoon, Chair, and good afternoon, honorable members of Parliament, Lusaka. Good afternoon. My name is Jeffan Siame, representing the Office of Control of Internal Audit, Ministry of Finance. Thank you.
Government.
Thank you very much, Chairperson, and good afternoon to you and the honorable members of your committee. Lusaka City Council, you are welcome for your reappearance. I'm Kazinga Kennedy from Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development. Thank you.
Commission.
Thank you so much, Chairperson. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Charles Soko from Local Government Service Commission.
Thank you. Clerk's Office.
Much obliged, Chair. Good afternoon to you, Chair. Good afternoon, honorable members, permanent witnesses, as well as Lusaka City Council. My name is Manama Mwape, and I'm under National Assembly of Zambia in the Clerk's Office. Thank you.
Behind there. You're part of LUSAKA? Oh, okay. You should introduce yourself also.
Good afternoon. My name is Jimmy Mwale, Assistant Accountant.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Mwale.
Chair, thank you and good afternoon to you. Emmanuel Walia from the Office of the Clerk.
Thank you. Honorable Member for Kaumbwe.
Thank you, Chair. LUSAKA City Council. I am Honorable Dr. Aaron Mwanza, Member of Parliament for Kaumbwe constituency in Petauke District of the Eastern Province. You are most welcome to your committee. Thank you.
Thank you. Mangango.
Thank you so much, Chair. Good afternoon to you. Afternoon, fellow honorable members of Parliament. Good afternoon, our permanent witnesses, LUSAKA City Council. Good afternoon to you. And you are welcome before your committee once more. We are very happy to be with you. Our viewers and the listeners out there, good afternoon to you too. I'm Mwene Lohamba, Member of Parliament for Mangango. Thank you.
Chair, I'm grateful. Good afternoon, Auditor General's Office, and good afternoon, LUSAKA City Council. I'm Honorable Dr. Singombe, representing the people of Dundumwezi in Kalombo, Southern Province. Thank you.
Siafunga.
Thank you, Chairperson, and good afternoon to you. Good afternoon, permanent witnesses, LUSAKA City Council. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, colleagues. My name is Mulunda Darius, Member of Parliament for Siavonga constituency. Chairperson, I thank you.
Thank you. Do we have anyone? My name is Mishek Mtetwa Nyambose, representing the wonderful people of Chasefu constituency in the eastern part of Zambia, and I'm privileged to chair your committee. You're welcome once again. You can quickly take us through, speak to your report so that we can have the interaction, Town Clerk.
Thank you so much, Chair. Item 1, which is 51A, delayed submission of proposal projects by CDF committees. Cause of query, management regrets that the implementation of the CDF was delayed in the year 2022 due to the delay in the submission of projects by the WDC, as well as the late launch of the new CDF guidelines in February of 2022, which ultimately culminated into the last submission of community projects to the CDFC. Action taken. Management wishes to report that the submission of community projects have now been aligned according to the CDF guidelines, which stipulates that submissions must be made not later than the first quarter of each year. Remedial measure, management will ensure that in order to avert potential delays in the submission of projects, it has subsequently instituted the following strategic measures: prompt advertisement regarding community projects, adhering to submission deadlines, and the ongoing monitoring of project progress. Delayed completion projects, completion of 1/6 classroom at Twashuka project. Cause of query, management acknowledges the auditor's observation and wishes to state that the contract extension documents were regrettably not availed in a timely manner to the office of the AG. Action taken, management wishes to report that the project has been completed. Remedial measure, management will ensure that the information flow to the auditors is available to them on a timely basis. Construction of a garbage bay at New Soweto. Cause of query, management acknowledges the auditor's observation and wishes to report that the cause of the query was as a result of the notification received from the contractor that were cholera outbreaks as well as flooding on the site due to blockages of the drainages during the execution of the contract, which led to an extension. Action taken. Management wishes to report that the project has been since completed and commissioned. Remedial measure. Management will continue to adhere to CDF management systems to improve efficiency, streamline processes, and prevent future delays in implementation. Construction of a shelter at Mobile Market. Cause of query. Management wishes to report that the delay in the completion of the projects was due to community through the CDFC of Kanyama constituency, who requested for change of project size from an initial size of 9 by 28 meters, which was increased to 9 by 40 meters, leading to an extension of contract duration. Action taken. Management wishes to report that market structure has since been roofed, the concrete counters have been constructed, and the project is complete and is currently under the defects liability period. Remedial measure. Management is committed to enhancing the CDF management system to improve efficiency, streamline processes, and prevent future delays in implementation. In Chaoma constituency, stored rehabilitation of Christian Temple Road. Cause of query. Management wishes to report that it was regrettable that the contractor, Mukoma Investment, had abandoned the site despite having received warning letters and did not complete the works as stipulated in the contract. Action taken. Management terminated the contract for Mukoma, and Mutakaso Construction and General Dealers was since engaged to complete the remaining works, of which the 10-meter stretch has been paved and the drainage works completed. The project is now complete and is under the defect liability period. Remedial measure. Management is committed to enhancing the CDF management systems to improve efficiency, streamline processes, and prevent future delays in implementation. Finally, failure to implement implemented projects. So we got to straight to page 11, cause of query. Management would like to clarify that ZESCO had not connected power to Mtendele East Clinic and Grips, and furniture was allocated for in the 2025 CDF, which led to the delay in the commissioning of the project. Action taken. Management wishes to state that ZESCO has since connected power to the two facilities, allocation to procure furniture, and is scheduled for commissioning in May 2025. Remedial measure. Management wishes to report that a resolution has been made by the CDFC to include solar power in all CDF constructions. This will serve as a backup mechanism and also expedite the timely commissioning of completed projects where ZESCO does not install power on time. When completed project Manga Police Post. Cause of query. Management wishes to report that at the time of audit, the construction of the police post was complete but was not furnished, hence the facility could not be commissioned. Action taken. Management wishes to state that the furniture for the facility has been since been procured and the police post has now been commissioned and is operational. Remedial measure. Management wishes to report that going forward, all construction contracts for vertical building to include furniture, material, poor workmanship, 1/3 CRB, Yotam Munea. Cause of query. Management wishes to report that this was as a result of the building which developed some defects during the defects liability period. Cause of action taken. Management wishes to report that an instruction was issued to the contractor to remedy the defects and that the defective walls have since been worked on. Remedial measure. Management wishes to report that it will ensure that the council carries out increased site inspections so as to ensure that contractors follow contract specification. Then the 1/3 community, at Desai Community School. Cause of query, management wishes to report that this was as a result of the building which developed defects during the defect liability period. With the passage of time, the ceiling developed some cracks leading to light fittings loosening. Action taken, management wishes to report that the building is still under the defect liability period and an instruction was issued to the contractor to remedy the defects, and the ceiling has since been removed and a new one was installed. Remedial measure, management will ensure that the council carries out increased science inspections so as to ensure that the contractor follow contract instructions. Chunga Clinic, cause of query, management acknowledges the observation made by the auditor and wishes to report that the cause of the query was as a result of the underperformance by the contractor, which resulted in the delay of completing the project. Action taken, management wishes to report that an instruction was issued to the contractor and the contractor has since corrected the defects which are surroundings, the undercoat painting and the installation of 2 grill gates, and the projects have since been completed. Remedial measure, management will ensure that the council carries out increased site inspections so as to ensure that contractors follow contract specifications. Kabwata, delayed completion of paving at Chilenje Market, cause of query, management acknowledges the auditor's observations and wishes to report that the delay was primarily due to the curing period required of the pavers prior to the delivery on site, and the section of the paved area was fitted with a defective batch that succumbed to wear and tear quicker than anticipated lifespan. Action taken, management wishes to report that the council instructed the contractor to replace the defective pavers, and the contractor has since successfully replaced the 1,400 square meters of the affected pavers on the concrete edge on the western side of the market. The project is still under defect liability period. Remedial measure, management will ensure that the council will carry out increased site inspections so as to ensure that the contractors follow contract inspections. The edge completion of boundary wall fence at Delay, cause of query, management acknowledges the auditor's observation and wishes to report that the contractor was forced to stop works because of the active land dispute. The contractor had done 95% of the contractual work, but the said works were demolished by the Delay Seventh-day Adventist Church and its agent, and petitioned ownership of the part of the land being enclosed by the boundary wall at the Lusaka district through the Planning Appeals Tribunal. Action taken, management wishes to report that a report was then filed with the Chilanga police station under a case reference number 48/5/23. Further, an enforcement notice was served on the SDA church on 3rd June of 2024 to demolish a wall that was built illegally by the latter, and during the period of police investigations. The Planning Appeals Tribunal dismissed the appellant's appeal, but nonetheless, the matter has recommenced by the SDA for proceedings in the High Court with regards to the ownership. The remedial measure, management will in future ascertain that all land designated for the construction of CDF projects is indeed the property of the project prior to the initiation of the implementation phase. Mandevu, delayed completion. We go to page 18. Cause of query, construction of Mwembe Primary School. Management acknowledges observation of the audit and wishes to report that this was due to the contractor's repetitive works that were unsatisfactory, leading to the delay in the completion of the project. Action taken, management wishes to report that the contract duration was extended to ensure that the contract was still running as stipulated in the condition of contract. The project has since been completed and was handed over on 6 February 2025. Remedial measure. Management is committed to enhancing the CDF management systems to improve efficiency, streamline processes, and prevent future delays in implementation. Then installation of culverts at Angel's Corner, cause of query. Management acknowledges auditor's observation and wishes to state that this was due to the area being waterlogged to mitigate the rock filling and dewatering of the site by the contractor had to be done before commencement of the drainage construction. Action taken. Management wishes to report that the construction of Angel's Corner drainage has since been completed. Remedial measure. Management is committed to enhancing the CDF management system to improve efficiency, streamline processes, and prevent future delays in implementation. Abandoned projects with conflict of interest, construction of mother shelter. Cause of query. Management acknowledges auditor's observation and wishes to report that the cause of the query was as a result of the contractor, InnoSite Investment Limited, abandoning the site and could not complete the works on time. Management wishes also to report that at the time of the award, the site director was not an employee of Lusaka City Council. Action taken. Management wishes to report that the contract for InnoSite was terminated and a demand letter to recover the advance that was made for the works which were not done, and InnoSite Limited has started paying back. The new contractor, Brigade Trading and Supply, has since been engaged to complete the remaining works. Remedial measure. Management has since written a demand notice to the contractor to recover the amount owed through advance payment and the damages charged. Lusaka Central delayed completion. Cause of query. Management acknowledges observation made by the auditor and wishes to report that there was an additional extension to accommodate the outstanding works, which included the change of scopes for the cells from the Y16 bus to Y20, paving of the front of the police station, construction of shelves in the cell area, which led to the delayed completion of the project. Further, an inspection by designated user recommended an enhancement in the design and security features which are attainable at an incremental cost of 740,000 and have since been secured from the CDFC and are awaiting approval from PRGO office. Action taken. Management wishes to report that a site meeting was called with the Zambia Police, Ministry of Home Affairs and Internal Security, and the Lusaka Central CDFC to discuss the changes, after which the authority has been sought from PRGO office requesting for extra funds to implement the requested extra works. Remedial measure. Management will ensure it takes variation requests to the CDFC on time so that the projects are not over-delayed. Then irregularities in procurement of desk, Kanyama. So failure to replace rejected desk. So cause of query, that's page 22. Management wishes to acknowledge the observation of the auditor and wishes to report that the council only paid for the desks that were delivered, while the rejected desks were not paid for. Action taken. Management wishes to state that the 75 desks that were rejected have also since been delivered. Remedial measure. Management, in order to guarantee that only high quality products are supplied, will continue to conduct inspections prior to product delivery and will also follow up on rejected items to make sure that they are delivered on schedule. Munari, failure to avail goods received not. Cause of query. Management wishes to acknowledge the observation of the auditor and wishes to state that some of the documents were secured at the point of delivery, schools, and not at the council during the time of audit. Action taken. Management wishes to report that the goods received notes are available for audit verification. Remedial measure. Management wishes to report that going forward, the necessary documents will be made available as early as possible to the auditors. Natumi General Dealers, delay in the delivery of desks. Cause of query. Management acknowledges observation made by the external audit and wishes to report that the delay in the delivery of desks was due to the supplier facing power outages in the area where they operate from, leading to an approved extension to the contractor, which ultimately culminated into the delay in the delivery of the desks. Action taken. Management wishes to report that the supplier delivered the 285 desks at a total sum of 329,175, from which the advance payment of 103,950 was fully recovered, and the contract was terminated, and the balance of the desk has since been approved by the PROGO to award the Zambia Correctional Services. Remedial measure. Management wishes to report that going forward, it will continue to carry out due diligence on the suppliers before delivery of desks. Failure to terminate contract. Cause of query. Management acknowledges observation made by the auditor and wishes to report that this was due to the consideration of the communication from the contractor at the time of audit to complete the due process as per terms and conditions of contract. Action taken. Management wishes to report that the contract has since been terminated and awarded a new contract by 30th April 2025. Remedial measure. Management has since intensified the conducting of due diligence on all suppliers of products and services to the council in order to determine their inability to deliver the goods. Non-delivery of borax. Cause of query. Management would like to state that the supplier did not have sufficient capacity to fulfill the delivery of the 600 borax within the designated time frame. However, the provision of the 90 desks and the 40 laboratory stools were successfully delivered. Action taken. Management wishes to state that the supplier delivered a total of 516 borax and the contract agreement was terminated and cancelled in case another supplier who since supplied the borax. Remedial measure. Management has appointed the contracts manager who will be fulfilling upon contracts so that they monitor the quality of services being provided and ensure that suppliers deliver on time. Management of secondary schools and skills bursary. Payment of skills to unregistered. So this one, Chair, I think last time it was agreed that it was resolved. So I got
skip it.
Thank you. And sponsorship of an approved beneficiaries Kabata. So go to cause of query. Management acknowledges the observation by the auditor and seeks to clarify that only 2 students were paid for during the period under review. Action taken. Management acknowledges observation by the auditor and seeks to clarify that only 2 students were paid for under Kabata constituency and were on the approved list from PROGO office as attached on Appendix X. Remedial measure. Management will provide prompt information to the auditors to ensure that the audit queries can be addressed during the audit phase while they are presented to the council. Then BH Technical, 19 students. Cause of query. Management acknowledges observation by the auditor and seeks to clarify that the council does not make payments for students that are not on the approved list from PROGO office. Action taken. Management wishes to report that out of the 17 approved learners, council only paid for 12 students who managed to report for work or school. Sorry. The medical measure. Management will sensitize and reprimand institutions against replacing students without approval from the council and PRG office. The middle measure, management will enhance the reconciliation between the council and the learning institutions to ensure effective and accurate information is maintained. LUSAKA Business Technical College, cause of query, management acknowledges observation by the auditor and seeks to clarify that the council does not make payments for students that are not on the approved list. Action taken, management wishes to report that the council only paid for 224 approved students by PRG office as referred in the appendix KL1. The middle measure, management will continue verifying before committing payments and intensifying monitoring and evaluation. When C, student without proof of completing skills courses, cause of query, management wishes to report that the students at the time of the audit were still attending the classes and had not yet completed their courses, as some courses had more than 1 year duration. Action taken, management wishes to state that all students cited as not having completed their programs have since completed and graduated their courses as Appendix K or 2. The middle measure, management will continuously monitor the progress of the student and to the various institutions. Questionable payments for skills at non-operating training centers. Cause of query, Mandevo and Kawata. Management seeks to clarify that at the time of payment, Vavika Training Academy and Molex of Science and Education were operational and duly registered with the TVETA. Action taken, management seeks to clarify that at the time of payment to the institution, the schools were operational and listed on the TVETA accreditation list and students completed in the year under review. The middle measure, management will continue undertaking due diligence with the institution before shortlisting and paying for the students. Management of youth and women empowerment grants. So A, failure to avail registration certificates, cause of query. Management would like to state that it was regrettable that management did not avail the registration certificate to the auditors. However, management would like to clarify that the registration certificates are attached to the CDF grants application forms. Action taken, the certificates that were attached to the grant application and grant application forms and copies of the certificates are available for audit verification. The middle measure, management, in order to prevent further audit queries, will ensure that the registration certificates and any other relevant documents that are not attached to the payment vouchers are made available to the auditors on a timely basis. Disbursement of grants to unknown applicants. Cause of query, management would like to acknowledge that certain grant beneficiaries could not be reached by phone by the auditors and who were also unable to locate the locations where they were conducting the businesses. Action taken, management wishes to report that at the time of the audit, the groups were not reachable for publications due to shortness. However, management was able to contact the grant beneficiaries during the monitoring exercise. The middle measure, management will continue to monitor the grant beneficiaries in collaboration with the community leaders. Failure to produce monitoring reports empowerment. Cause of query, management wishes to acknowledge the observation of the auditor. The local authority did not produce the required monitoring reports as at November 2024 in the respect of the empowerment grants paid to 313 beneficiary groups were paid, amounting to totaling 8,453,656. Action taken. Management regrets that the monitoring reports were not availed at the time of audit. However, the reports are available for verification. Remedial measure, management will ensure to avail auditors with monitoring reports as soon as they are requested to avoid queries in future. Then delayed submission of empowerment grants for approval. Cause of query, management wishes to acknowledge that the empowerment grant for the approval were delayed for the previous periods ranging from 6 months to 10 months, 10 weeks, in three constituencies, namely Matero, Mandevo, and Lusaka Central. Action taken, management wishes to report that the delayed submission of the empowerment grants application was due to the spillover in the delay in the formulation of the WDCs in 2022, who received project applications from communities, which was coupled with the orientation on the 2022 guidance to various stakeholders. This affected the implementation of the 2022 and spilled over 2023. Remedial measure, management has since aligned the submission of the CDFC to the guidance in the 2022 CDF guidelines. Kanyama constituency, failure to implement funded projects, hope of change, cooperative. Management wishes to report that the grant beneficiary opted to change the business to suit the environment. A lot of applicants changed their business during the period due to the slow business environment, unreliable power supply, and other economic challenges. We refer to M&E report, which was conducted through the businesses which benefited from the CDF grant. Action taken, management wishes to report that the cooperatives were formally written to refund the disinvested funds. Remedial measure, management will continue to ensure that groups are sensitized and their operations are monitored closely as per requirements of the CDF guidelines. Chawama, constituency and profitable cooperatives. Cause of query, the cooperative Palot MPC ventured into fish business contrary to the business of sausage making, and the cooperative was not operating at the time of the audit due to theft of the fish ordered. Action taken, management wishes to state that the cooperative was formally written to refund the disbursed funds. Remedial measure, management will continue to monitor the activities of beneficiaries in order to assess their performance and take corrective action on a timely basis. Mandevu, failure to implement projects. Cause of query, management agrees with the auditor's observation that there was no evidence of the intended business activities taking place, and the beneficiaries did not avail the proof that the funds had been deposited into the cooperative bank account. Action taken. Management has since blacklisted the people in these groups, which will prevent them from benefiting from the CDF grants in future. Further evidence of the deposit of funds into the cooperative accounts have been attached. Remedial measure, management has continued to undertake physical verification, financial retraces, training for the shortlisted groups. Furthermore, management advised that the punitive action should be included in the revised CDF guidelines for groups who do not implement approved projects. Soft loans, payment of loans not on people on the approved list. Cause of query, management wishes to report that the CDF minutes were not availed to the auditor at the time of the audit, as they were kept in separate files. Action taken, management wishes to report that the CDF minutes endorsed by the community and the PROG office approved lists are available for audit verification. Remedial measure, management will always ensure that all beneficiaries are approved before they are paid. Failure to produce monitoring reports. So this one was resolved.
Yes.
I go to C, overpayment Kanyama loans. Cause of query, management wishes to acknowledge that the auditor's observation that the loan applicants and the bank statement reviewed that the council paid amounts of totaling to 80,000 to two groups in respect of soft loans instead of 65,000, resulting in an overpayment of 15,000. Action taken. Management wishes to report that the loan repayment are made by Zanaco and the error was acknowledged by the bank as evidenced by attachments, Zanaco assessment report and bank statement. The measure, management will continue to prepare monthly bank reconciliation statement in order to detect such anomalies. Then unaccounted for assets, Chawama. Cause of query, management wishes to state that the physical verification of assets conducted in November revealed that the processing unit for one of the desktop computers was missing at the time of audit, and it's regrettable that it was not shown to the auditors at that time. Action taken, management wishes to report that the processing unit is available for physical verification. The measure, management will ensure to avail the auditors with assets as soon as they are requested for to avoid the queries in future. Failure to provide proof of tax compliance before vetting suppliers material. Cause of query, management acknowledges the auditor's findings, and this was due to uncertainty regarding Lusaka City Council's designation as a VAT withholding agent under the Zambia Revenue Authority 2023 withholding VAT agent list. Additionally, Treasury and Financial Management Circular number 7 of 2023 limited the directive to line ministries, government departments, statutory bodies, excluding local authorities such as Lusaka City Council. Action taken. Upon review, management confirms that Lusaka City Council is not listed as a registered VAT withholding agency in the Zambia in the ZRA 2023 list of designated agents. However, Council has written to ZRA notifying them of all the transactions involving suppliers engaged for the supply of goods and services for the year under review. The Council will take necessary steps to ensure compliance with the applicable laws and regulations. Unsupported payments, Mandevu. Cause of query, management acknowledges observation of the auditor and wishes to report that this was due to tax clearance certificates that were not attached to the payment voucher but kept separate in the procurement offices. Action taken. Management has since attached all the documents that were not attached to the payment voucher at the time of the audit. Remedial measure. Management will ensure that payment vouchers are fully supported before filing. Appendices or cross-cutting issues. So you have budget, funding and expenditure. Cause of query, management acknowledges auditor's observation regarding the allocation of the utilization of the funds. The Council wishes to clarify that the retained funds amounting to 101,779 per constituency were held by the Ministry during the period under review. Further disbursements for 2023 for funding were received in phases, specifically May, July, October, November, and December 2023, respectively, as outlined in the table below. At the time of the audit in July 2023, the Council was still in the initial stages of the procurement process. Action taken. Management reports that as at 31st December 2024, the Council successfully implemented all the approved projects and activities funded under the 2023 CDF allocation. The measure, management will continue monitoring fund utilization, strengthen coordination with means of local government, providing support WDCs to enhance projects approvals and timely fund disbursements. Regular reporting will also be maintained to improve financial accountability. Total unspent funds. Cause of query. Management wishes to report that at the time of the audit, a total of 74,632,231 was unspent due to activities which were still ongoing. There's a table there. Action taken, a total of 74,549 has since been spent on all the CDF components as tabulated below in the table. The middle measure, management will ensure that the funds are used within the financial year that are received. Unspent funds, community projects. Management wishes to clarify that the spent funds amounting to 839,457 under the community projects were due to projects which were still being implemented. Action taken. Management acknowledges auditor's observation and wishes to report that the community projects in question amounting to 80 million have since been completed. The status of these projects is detailed below in table 4. The middle measure. Management will ensure that the funds are used within the same financial year they are received. Unspent funds empowerment. Management wishes to report that the amount of 9,504,553 represents unspent funds under the 2023 empowerment grants which were subsequently utilized in 2024. The breakdown of the unspent funds by the constituency is provided in table 5 below. Action taken. Management wishes to clarify that as at 31st December 2023, there was an outstanding balance of 9 million under empowerment. The Council subsequently disbursed the full amount during the course of 2024, resulting in new balance as at 2024. Details below in table 5. The major measure. Management to ensure that funds are used within the same financial year that funds are received. Secondary school, boarding and skills, bursaries. Cause of query. Management reports that the unspent funds of 16,802,800 under the secondary school and skills bursaries were due to low turnout of students registering during the reporting period. Additionally, the disbursement of funds was delayed as the Council was still in the process of placing students in appropriate institutions. Action taken. Management confirms that the outstanding balance of 16,800,000 under the secondary school bursaries and skills as at first was fully utilized in 2024. As a result, this new balance as at 31st December, the utilization of the funds is shown below. Unspent funds administrative. Management reports that the unspent funds amounting to 3,294,0220 were due to the Council still utilizing the 2022 administrative component for project monitoring at the time of the audit. As a result, the 2023 administrative funds had not yet been fully expended. Details as provided in table 7. Action taken. Management wishes to report that the outstanding balance of the administrative costs as at the first was fully utilized during the 2024. Consequently, there was new balance as at 31st December. So we have table 7B. There. The middle measure, management will ensure that funds are used within the same period that are received. Community projects, outstanding. The management would like to state that the unfinished projects were the purchase of land at Katambala Market and the construction of an ablution block at the same market. However, the seller altered the selling price from what was originally agreed upon with the Council, and the new price was higher than what the government valuation department value had given. Action taken, management has written to PRO's office for council to purchase the land above GDV, that's government valuation department's value threshold. The measure, management will continue to adhere to the stipulated rules and regulations. Analysis of youth empowerment grants. Cause of query. Management reports that the spent funds resulted in from cooperatives failing to submit the necessary documentation as required by the CDF guidelines. As a result, the cooperatives were instructed to resubmit the required documents before payments could be processed. Action taken, management wishes to report that there was 100% disbursements of 5 constituencies, 99%. The measure, management will always pay funds promptly to ensure the community gets the intended benefit on a timely basis. Change of projects without approval. Cause of query, management would like to clarify that the beneficiary received less funding than the amount they originally applied in accordance with the resolution passed by the CDFC. Action taken, management wishes to state that it has formally cautioned the beneficiaries against changing the project without prior approval. The measure, management wishes to report that the Ministry of Local Government has since guided all local authorities through a circular cabinet stating that no CDFC should reduce the applied amounts by the beneficiaries. Then performance analysis, soft ones. Cause of query, that's page 55. Management would like to state that the loans are demand-driven and the utilization of the funds is dependent on the uptake of the loans by the community, and as such, the demand from the community failed to exhaust these funds. Action taken, management wishes to report that it successfully increased the allocation of soft loans from 0% where no beneficiary received in certain constituencies to 85%. The measure, management has increased the sensitization to the public on the availability and how they can access these funds. Failure to recover loan. Management wishes to report that the beneficiaries who obtained loans from the council failed to repay their obligations within the agreed timelines with default periods ranging from 6 to 14 months. The failure to recover these loans are attributed to operational challenges faced by some cooperatives, which affected their financial capacity to meet the repayment. Action taken to address this issue, management has been proactive in implementing recovery measures. Regular reminders have been sent to defaulters, urging them to fulfill their loan obligations. As a result of these efforts, a total of 2.1 million has been recovered as at 31st December. A status report detailing these recoveries has been prepared and attached for audit verification. The measure, management remains committed to improving loan recovery and will continue to sensitize beneficiaries on the importance of repaying their loans. Secondary school boarding and skills development bursaries. Cause of query, management wishes to report that the students at the time of the audit were still attending classes and had not yet completed as some courses had more than 1 year duration. Action taken, management wishes to state that all students cited as not having completed their programs have since completed and graduated from the courses. The measure, management will continuously monitor the progress of the students at various institutions. Beneficiaries of secondary boarding skills development bursaries not yet perusing skills development courses. Cause of query, management wishes to report that the query arose from the beneficiaries of the secondary school boarding and skills development bursaries not pursuing skills development courses as intended. some beneficiaries have opted for courses unrelated to the bursary objectives, such as psychosocial counseling, business administration, rather than more technical or vocational programs that align with the skills development. Action taken. Management wishes to report that a review of the course choice for the beneficiary has been initiated in discussions with students to ensure that they are aware of the importance of pursuing skills development. Additional guidance and support are being provided to help beneficiaries align their studies with the intended purpose of bursaries. A major measure to prevent this from happening in future, management has strengthened the monitoring for course selection to ensure that beneficiaries are enrolled in courses that directly contribute to skills development. Furthermore, the regular follow-ups and checks will be conducted to track the progress of students and ensure the courses are aligning with the bursaries. Analysis of desks. Cause of query. Management has acknowledged the auditor's observation on Council's failure to procure the desk as approved by the CDF in the year under review. Action taken. Management wishes to report that the Council had the balance of 10,000 as at the 31st December 2023. During the year 2024, Council delivered 9,274, which left a balance of 770 desks, which have been awarded to the supplier and to be delivered in May. Remedial measure. Management has appointed contract manager who manage the contracts and ensure that all deliveries are within contract period. Appendix 14, delivery of substandard desks. Cause of query. Management acknowledges observation regarding the provision of substandard desks by the supplier, which were identified by the technical committee at the time of delivery, and the supplier delayed in replacing these queried desks. Action taken. Management wishes to state that the substandard desk has been replaced by high quality that meets the specifications set forth by the Council. The medical measure. Management has started to conduct due diligence by inspecting the desk at the workshop so as to avoid the supply of substandard desks to the Council. Failure to monitor projects. Cause of query. Management would like to acknowledge officers' observation with regret that M&E staff were inadequate during the year under review, which resulted in them failing to monitor some projects. However, as stated in the above query, failure to produce monitoring force and that the monitoring force were not available for the audit are available now for the audit. Action taken. Management wishes to report that it has provided additional staff to the M&E section in the district planning unit, and that the monitoring force that were not available for audit are now available for audit verification. Remedial measure. Management will continue to monitor the community projects, empowerment, grants, and bursaries for additional manpower. This is the end of the report. I submit, Chair.
Thank you very much, TC, for that submission. Honorable members, it's time now for points of clarification. Honorable Mwene from Mangango.
Thank you very much, Chair. Chair, I think we can start with page 12. Page 12 on poor workmanship of projects. Chair, it's surprising that even in Lusaka, where there are no very difficult terrains, where it's very easy to reach, the council still has challenges to monitor projects to reach an extent of having structures that have cracks in spite of a very good soil foundation in Lusaka. It's very different from Western Province and other areas that may crack, of which also we don't expect that because we have experts in those areas. Chair, I just want to find out why Lusaka City Council is failing to monitor projects for them to have structures that still have defects. Yes, structures can be in defects liability period, but in Lusaka, Chair, they are not expected to be defected in this manner. This is a sign of lacking supervision.
Let us get them from them. Let us not conclude. We ask them.
Yes.
Why, town clerk, do you still have cracked buildings?
Firstly. Then secondly, Chair, when we look at the pricing of, let's take, for example, the construction of 1x3 classroom block at Yota Mulea Primary School here. The price is about 1,266,847 kwacha 63 ngwe. I just want to find out why this price is almost higher than the price of a 1x3 in a constituency that is far away.
Like which one?
From Lusaka. Let me give an example of Mangango. You look at a distance from here to Mangango, Chair.
How much is the same 1x3 in Mangango?
Almost the same price.
Okay.
So when you compare, Chair, when you compare, and this is in a remote area, so when you compare the cost of construction, look at one, for example, cement is coming from Lusaka.
Correct.
Where the price is and transportation of the cement is expected to be cheaper than Mangango, for example. Secondly, look at maybe, let's talk about the roofing sheets themselves. Come from Lusaka, okay? Where the transportation...
and that is okay.
Look
That's
at, for example, the deformed bars.
Yes,
they are coming.
everything.
Most of the materials, Chair, even the blocks that we are using, Chair, they are bought from Lusaka and transported to these rural constituencies. But you find that the price, if we say, for example, it is equivalent to that one in the rural constituencies, then it means this one is very high.
Okay.
So I just want to ask, yes, Chair,
your position
them
very well.
Just
Town clerk,
this.
why is it that, the second question, why is it that you are almost at the same price of a 1x3 in a rural constituency, and you gave an example of Mangango? Lusaka should be cheaper because all these materials are coming from here. What would be your response to that?
Thank you so much, Chair. Let me attempt to respond, then I'll also direct.
No problem. You are a team. Even those behind, they are here with you to help you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Chair. So, with the Lusaka CRB classroom block, normally I shorten by saying...
No problem, we understand that jargon.
So, normally the Lusaka ones, I think the difference that we saw, we have power connection, then we have also ceiling board and other accessories. So, that also makes the price a little bit different with the other ones. So, I don't know whether also maybe the Mangango one, maybe they have ceiling and the other ones.
In Joseph, what Muswazi we have ceiling.
Okay.
Those were yes.
So, those, Chair, and then also the way these contractors price, because when we use the EGP system, you know, they go there and then they prepare their own BOQs. So, from what we have, the procurement, they just compare. So, in Chair...
The question that he has asked, without laboring so much, give us a justification. If you say that, no, Lusaka ones, all of them have electricity, that is the... So, it means that those of us in a rural constituency, they are overpriced. Yours are reasonable. That's the justification you are giving now. And it's an issue that is being questioned, is the issue of overpricing. Because what we are trying to talk about is that these projects should be priced at the reasonable price without affecting the quality and also
Yes.
The timely delivery. So you will note that in your report we are coming to the issues, whether these principles, the three of them, as indicated by our beloved president, are being followed. So this is where we are. So you are saying that Lusaka, you are justified. 1.2 is okay because you have all those things, isn't it?
Yes, yeah. So we have the issue of electricity, the sockets, the ceiling, the power connection.
Even the bulbs. So the other question was, okay, before I come to that, let me ask Honorable Mulunda to make a follow-up.
Chairperson, Lusaka City Council, you are the mother of all the local authorities, and your submissions should stand as such.
Emphasize that. Maybe they should know that.
You are the mother of all local authorities, and your submissions should be far away from any questioning. We expect you to give us the exact situation. There are a lot of questions surrounding the project, Chairperson. My colleague has just picked one, the price. We're also picking you who stay where there is electricity and everything. Why should you have short works? You who have engineers that stay in these good houses, they have everything at their disposal. Why should you have delayed completion of projects when you can deliver, the contractor can deliver in the morning? You can go to town, pick up a few building materials and go and start working. These will take 2 days for them to get to site. That's why you should give us right justification and people that will satisfy the people. You know, this conversation we are having, the interaction that we are having with you, it's not for us, it's not for you, it's for the people out there to know whether the money that the government advances to reach the ordinary person, the poor person there, reaches there. So when you justify to say, no, there are sockets, there are bulbs, we do those things as well.
Just to help you, Honorable Mulunda, let's go to page 12. I want to, before you come in, just to help you,
yes,
to augment your point. Let's go to page 12. Are we there on page 12? Yes, page 12. Poor workmanship of projects, material constituency. Are we there? You are there. All of us, I want all the officers. What Honorable Mulunda has indicated, and Honorable Member for Mangango has indicated, we want to prove to you the expectations of all of us, whether he's a director of engineering in Jasefu, Siavonga or Mangango, the expectations are high from the authorities and the people of Zambia. Now, Honorable has brought a very critical point, issue of why should we have the pricing of projects in Lusaka equal the same as others. So people may be wondering, where is it coming from? We are testing whether your projects are of high quality. I'm reading for Matero constituency to prove what Honorable Mulunda and the other one should indicate. And I want you to follow me so that you respond from there. Have you seen a project, construction of a 1x3 classroom block at Yotamlea Primary School by Triple Properties Investment Limited at a cost of 1,266,847,000 kwacha, 847 kwacha, 63 ngwe. Money which was expended 1,012,902.89. The start date of this project, Town Clerk, was expected on the 28th June 2023, in June. End date was expected April 2024. The project status, that's where the issue is. The classrooms were completed and handed over. However, the building had cracks in all the four corners of the wall near roofing. You get that? Are we there? Yes. That is what he was talking about. You as Lusaka, you should be at that level. Engineers should be top notch. Everyone. Now the other project, material constituency. Construction of a 1x3 classroom block at Desai community by Asphalt and the Concrete Structures Limited. The contract price was 1,139,955.39 kwacha. At the time of audit, 549.34 was paid. Now look at the status of the project. The classrooms were completed and handed over. However, the ceiling had the cracks and the bending. The fixtures such as fluorescent tubes holders were falling off. Are you there? The last one. I just want to demonstrate to you the expectations. And this is Lusaka. Construction of Chunga Clinic by Patriarchs Construction Limited. It was valued 826,479.36. What was paid to this contractor was 438,355.32. It was expected to end on 4th April 2024. The status. The clinic was completed according to the council. However, the surrounding was not done. On one side, only the undercoat painting was done. 2 doors had no grill doors. See picture. Now, why should we have such defects? Council number 1. And the pricing. If you were monitoring, according to the scope of that clinic, the doors should have grill doors. They were not put there. According to the expectation, the ceiling for a primary school, the corners had all cracks. Within a period of 1 year of completion, what more when it lives for 10 years? What will happen? It will fall on pupils. And this is a project done by city number 1. What would be your comment, Engineer Ndava? Before you comment, there's a pressing issue.
Just on what you are saying, Chairperson, before you comment, I beg to just add 1 or 2 things on what you have actually explained. If we went to page 13, we hear how the council is justifying wrong things on page 13.
Let's go to page 13, all of us.
What is the legal officer here? Madam Council, did you read this report on this particular issue? Did you read it? You read it and you are following now. I want to read it and you should correct me. On the construction of 1x3 classroom block at Desai Community School, I want you to listen to what the management response. They said management wishes to report that this was as a result of building which developed defects during the defects liability period. With the passage of time, the ceiling developed cracks leading to lighting fittings loosening. Okay? Instead of saying the building actually developed cracks and end there, they will go down and sugarcoat it, say no, with the passage, it was still
passage of time.
It is within the defect period, is with the passage of time. How can we write like that? If that city, sir, where that council where you are sitting, those offices, if they are done in this fashion, we are going to be in those buildings? The answer is no. They would have collapsed a long time ago. But you, within 12 months, within 24 months, you want to justify to say with passage of time they can be falling. That's what you are saying, basically.
What is the defect liability period? What is the defect liability period in normal?
1 year.
1 year. So within 1 year, you are justifying that
Yes.
due to passage of time. They are within defect liability period, so they can be falling off. This is a report that you are giving.
We are reading, just a minute, we are reading. Then you go down. We don't get any point from anywhere except what you have submitted.
Correct.
Action taken. Management wishes to report that the building is still under defect liability period, and instructions or an instruction was issued to the contractor to remedy the defects. It doesn't pain Lusaka City Council because it's still within. So even if I bring a bricklayer from nowhere ungraded, he builds something, then it collapses, it crumbles down within 12 months, it's okay because it's still within. Do you know what it means to have waste expenditure? You want to be going back to the same project. Let's go down. After you have taken action, you're remedy now. The management will ensure that the council carries out increased site inspections so as to ensure contractors follow contract specifications. Contract specifications. Now you can just increase. Meaning you are not even doing that. These people, they could do whatever they want to do. Now we have realized that one remedy, one thing that you need to do is to increase inspections. I said Lusaka is seat number 1 in Zambia. We expect all the seriousness. Go to Vuwi, go to Shangombo. How many kilometers? Border with Angola. Look at their report. Very good report. Very good report. Shangombo was here. Was it last week?
Yes.
And Vuwi, 2 weeks ago. And other small, even Karurush, Kafue here. Go and read their report. In this report, there are 2 issues. There are cross-cutting issues and specific issues. On the specific issues, there is no query at all. They will just come and say something only on the cross-cutting issues. So at times we are not happy. We know maybe your employers, maybe anybody is happy, but us that are spending time when our colleagues are in constituencies to look at how the money is being utilized, we are not happy. I've seen the indication, I've just read on social media where the minister, Honorable Siarobaro, is saying now monies for desks should be retained because you people can't produce desks as the local authorities. Then what are you going to be doing? Eventually, even bricklayers will be retained. They will be coming from the central government. Chairperson, I thought I should speak. It's the justification, I didn't like it because this is English.
Before you, let's give them chance. Town clerk, welcome to this interaction. We are ready to demonstrate to you, and we want to religiously show you that what is happening. We have read, we go in the night. That's why when you are making a presentation, I was doing other things, not to demean you. Because we have read, and we want the nation and the people of Lusaka to see. We shall come to the issue of desks. So we want your take on these. We have just read the material issues, the pricing of the contracts. What is your take on buildings that are falling within a year? How would you describe that? Engineer, we would like to hear from you. After the town clerk, we would like to hear from the engineering team. One thing that you should bear in mind is that these are public resources. How are you accounting yourselves in the administration of public resources? Are we getting the value for money? So we start with this. Town clerk, then you can delegate to your engineering team.
Thank you so much, Chair. Like I stated, Chair, to start with on the issue of the pricing.
Maybe sorry for that. You are an engineer.
Yes.
And you were at the council in 2023.
Yes.
You were the engineer.
Yes.
You are the right person.
Thank you, Chair. So the issue of pricing, Chair, first of all, I think like I stated, maybe I will say, before I worked for the LUSAKA City Council, I worked in these other councils.
Livingston.
Gwembe. Samfya, Sinazongwe, Gwembe.
Sinazongwe, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know the classroom which is being compared to in the NAN, unless I could have the two. So
a 1x3.
Yeah, the 1x3s, because normally they differ. So like I stated, Chair, I said the other ones have sitting board. So on the ceiling, when we go on the BOQ,
let us pass let us go beyond that point. There is a standard recommendation by the Ministry of Education of a 1x3. There could be two in terms of sizes at a secondary school and a primary school. That's what we know. That we know. So you should tell us the one at the decide is this side, this size, and that's the cost. You go past. Now let's go and look at these other defects that have arisen.
Thank you so much, Chair. So with the defects, Chair, yes, what we do normally, the council gets contractors. But when we get these contractors, sometimes we get good contractors. Sometimes the contractors that we get, they are not in terms of the capacity to deliver high quality jobs. They are not there. So now, what happens in terms of supervision, because the contractors are gotten, then they go on site, and then in terms of the supervision, the people that we have, at least like maybe sometimes when we have road projects.
Tell us about specifically to this. We don't want to speculate. You're telling us a story. What happened to decide? What happened to this? You were the engineer and now you're the town clerk. You have a team. Yes. What is supervision? In this particular case, we don't want to talk about other things. As we are reading your report.
Yes, Chair. So, in this case, what happened? We had some cracks in the corners. On top there. So, in the corner, when you go on top of the
no corner. Problem, just say in the corners.
Yes, in the corners. So I think there is a timber, a timber there. So where there is a timber, where
town clerk.
Let me finish.
You are turning this into seconds. It's comedy now. Town clerk, can you account for your actions? Let me just read to you. Town clerk, we are a serious committee. Yes. We tell your colleagues, if you are not serious yourselves, as we are serious, Honorable Mulunda has indicated, where you are seated there, if you go to your office there, you follow how many people have been town clerks there. Renowned people. It's not an office that you go to. Not only you as town clerk, all of you. In the olden days, for you to be transferred or to be put at LUSAKA, you are the cream. So what we are getting here, you are turning this into a joke. And these are public resources, my brother. Here he told you one question. That building that you are working in is an old building. If it was done by yourselves, this team could have killed the people just within months. Now, you have been given money by our beloved president. I want CDF to be the channel of development. The people of Zambia have been crying. We want to see our children who are learning under trees to be given a decent classroom block because of this free education. They need more classroom blocks. Give them, here's the money. The costing, you have justified. The quality is cracking. Whether at the corner, we want you to tell us about this. I want to read again. Where was the supervision? You said there are two types of contractors, town clerk. We want to show you that we are serious. We are not joking. Look at the time, eh? Mind that. Yes. So don't take this committee lightly. We want seriousness. So now, here is the money you have implemented. You said there are two types of contractors. There are those who are quality. What was the due diligence to get this? And if you knew that this contractor had no capacity, what was your role as a team of supervisors to follow up this project? Then I'll ask Honorable Munda. Okay, short one before you come in.
Just a short one. You know, Town Clerk, like my chairperson is putting it, if you don't have answers, please ask somebody to respond. Because what you are giving us are not answers. You cannot, I'm saying you cannot tell us the cracks because there was a plank at the corner there. You as an engineer, you can't come out like that, Town Clerk. It means you are not serious. It means what is happening, all the weaknesses, the wrong things that are happening are pleasing you. You cannot, because under normal circumstances, I expected you to apologize actually. That yes, within 12 months we can't have cracks. When you have been sitting for the building that is more than 40 years without coming down, you mean there are no cracks in that whole Lusaka city offices? There are no planks there or steel structures. So you can come and explain to us. And they asked you about the price. If you went to Siavonga now, Siavonga is a hilly place. When you want to put up a classroom block, we have to raise this side maybe 10 courses so that we make it flat like that. But we still come to the same price that you are charging here on a flat land. You are not giving us the right answers. It's not right. These are public funds. If you people can't work at Lusaka City Council, you can't give us answers, you can't supervise, you can't come up with correct projects. Maybe we'll hear from the engineer.
There is an assistant engineer who was there, our engineer and our lady engineer. I think you help us. The town clerk may not be the person, even if he was an engineer who was there. Let us allow them. Let me regulate this meeting. We want to hear from them. I know it's emotional for us, what is happening. So I'll allow the engineer to be supported by the another assistant. I don't know if it's an assistant. We have someone who was there. Can you help on this one? What was your role as engineering department?
Okay, Chair. First, just to follow from honorable submission, the projects were in defect, meaning there was a snag of defects. So we should admit there were defects. So now, since there were defects, just to help the town clerk, we created the snag of defects, which defects are the same cracks. If you see the same project has completed, and then you look at the payment, there was some money that remained, which gave us some room now to rectify these defects. But in normal practice, we're not supposed to anticipate bigger defects. So we will have now to improve to make sure that we avoid defects in future. So if you see that in the project number 1, there's about 200 that remained. After we snag the defects, the cracks that are there, if you see in the pictures, we've shown how we corrected the defects. So we delivered, but in the actual practice, we're not supposed to be having defect in Lusaka, which we admit, but we've corrected it. Then we go to project number 2, 1x2 design. Also look at 1.3 remain, if a difference in that. Also in the snag of defects also, we managed to rectify those defects as well. Also if you go to number 3 also. So going forward, we'll make sure that we avoid the defects, because the retention usually is 10%. Now that 10% is not sufficient to correct the defects. Yes. So in this scenario, we are just fortunate that we managed to correct the defects from the snag list.
So the lesson that we pick, very well explained, engineer. So the lesson that we pick is that if you don't effectively supervise, milestone by milestone, before it reaches that certain level, you know the quality of mixture is taking place. You are able to make those remedial and guide the contractor. And you have less things. We want to have a standard building that can stand for more than 5 to 10 years. That is the standard and the expectation. So within a year, even if you have that, that was not in order. And we appreciate what you have indicated. Let's go to another question. This is a packed, let us move to another point. This is a packed report.
Okay, if it's going to another question,
okay.
Chair, me, I'm not satisfied.
No one is satisfied.
Only the pricing, how it. I wanted them to explain clearly, to say, okay, here at this stage, you call it it's the IPC? The IPC, Director Engineering. Can you explain to your committee to say, okay, at Silabu, here in Lusaka, it's costing like this. Because when you look at Quarry, for example, the people that are in Shangombo, for example, do you know how far Quarry comes from in Shangombo? Is it the same as here in Lusaka? When you count wait. When you calculate the kilometers. Do you know where, the buildings and so on are coming from there? The stones and so on. They are coming from very distant places. So for you to equate a structure similarly to those in far away places from Lusaka, me, I'm not yet satisfied. So we need a clear explanation, because there are a lot of people that are following. I'm just from reading here, Chair, on our page. They are not satisfied. They are saying the prices are just highly inflated. So can you explain, please, in detail, so that people can follow you clearly? I submit, Chair.
So, Chair, there is this appendix D and E, and then page 47. So, what it is, like for the 1x3 standard classroom, like you find that 1x3 for Lusaka, they do ceiling board in all the 3 classroom blocks. All the 3 classroom blocks. Okay? So the price, like for, if you go there, you find that ceiling, 91,000 kwacha alone. Okay.
I just told you 1 classroom block at a place called Muswazi Primary School in Chasefu Kajirime Ward.
Yes.
What you're talking about is what is done.
Yes.
So the issue, let me guide this meeting. The issue of overpricing of projects in Lusaka is not an issue that you can justify because of anything. No. That one is an issue that we should deal with the Minister of Law Government. We need to do that. How we can do it? What you are following is a price index that they have been given to you. So we know this. So you are following, you are guiding even your contractors. The price index of a slasher is at 100 kwacha. Even you, I'm just giving an example. You put it at 100 kwacha. The same price of a slasher in Chasef will be at 100 kwacha. That's what we are using. But if you look at that price index, it's just a guide. You professionals should now have to cost according to the demands of the powers, which they said cost the projects at a reasonable price. Reasonable, Lusaka should be reasonable. So, if in Sioma and the other council, the one we dealt with in the morning, no, Sioma and the Skongo. If you look at the terrain in Skongo, the soil formation, why should the same classroom block in Skongo and Mangango in Western Province be the same price, even less than the one in Lusaka? This is what we are talking about. So it's not an issue. This is an issue where we don't have patriots. Patriotic people are going to be genuine to their country by ensuring that that way you call it the what? No, not the price index. The engineer's estimates. The engineer's estimates should be informed by you people, by indicating that this is how a price of a 1x3 should cost. You cannot do the engineer's estimate here in Lusaka basing on the price index that has been given, that is being used by the same people in Chasefu all over, away from Lusaka. Because the price of the slasher, that side, is higher. So, it is a moral issue. Moral issue on your part as officers. When you apply yourselves, what are you doing it for yourselves? You're doing it for this country. Apply yourselves that this is your country you are running. This is your home. You cannot overprice things. But the problem, we've lost it. That's what the Honorable Munda is saying. If I want to mention some of the names who have been town clerks there, it's not easy to be a town clerk or engineer at Lusaka. There are great ones who are out there. But now, systems, anyone can be there, and when you are there, you don't understand that you are the lead. All these other councils, when you speak, everyone should follow, and you are doing a correct thing, and the people are copying from you. But it's the opposite now. So I wanted to indicate to you that we are aware of the price index, and we are aware of the engineer's estimates. You, engineer, you should be the one who should have the heart for this country in Lusaka. And the contractors are following the engineer's estimates. So we move to the next question. Dr. Mwanza, then Dr. Singwambe.
Maybe we go to page 19.
Let's go to page 19.
Yes, so that we determine their ability to to do contract management.
Recording in progress.
I've seen through all the 7 constituencies of Lusaka under the care of Lusaka City Council. Almost in every constituency there's a problem of either delayed completion of project or poor workmanship. And then also the administration on loans and grants.
Let's go to a point.
But the point is, I just take an example of the project in Mandevu.
Mention the name of the project on page 19.
Page 19.
It starts from 18.
It starts from 18. Abandoned project with conflicts of interest. Construction of mother's shelter at Mandevu Clinic. This is a project that is funded under 2022 CDF, Chair, and was awarded to a company called Insight at a contract sum of 389,591 for construction period of 3 months. So the contract was terminated and has since then been awarded to a new contractor. Evidence of a contract is on appendix F, page 54. The initial contract price that was signed with the first contractor called Insights was 389,591. That's about 390,000 kwacha, just 6 meter by 10 meters mother's shelter. The picture can be seen in the appendix F. There is no change in the scope of work. The contractor abandoned the site, and so they had reason to terminate the contract for abandoning works. A new contractor has been given the contract now at 627,554 kwacha. This is on page 54. When I've looked at the final settlement account with the first contractor, there was a saving of about 348,000 kwacha. So this new contractor at 627,000, council has to look for close to 300,000 kwacha to top up to complete this project. And this project was just signed a few weeks ago with Brigger, some company, yes. It was signed on 11th April 2025, a 2022 project. We are losing one, timely delivery of the project. It is taking now 2 years because the first time that the contract was awarded to the first contractor was in May 2023. Now the contractor
3 years
actually. Yes, the contractor is going to construct this actually for a period of 8 weeks, which is 2 months. 2 months. So this is yeah. So around July, that's when we expect it to. That is if he performs well. What justification can council give to have the price to be doubled for this contractor who recently signed the contract on 11th April by looking at the fact that there's no rescoping of work. The BOQ, I've looked through the BOQ for the first contractor, which he promised to complete the project at 389,000 kwacha. But just due to him abandoning site, the contract was terminated. Then there's no change in the specifications of all materials, nothing, and yet the price for the second contractor is double. What it means is that the unit price for the first contractor, each unit price is multiplied by 2 for the remaining works. What justification do you have to have the contract doubled?
Thank you. Let's leave it there.
Any special materials that we can argue on in terms of price escalation of prices for justification?
Please, just end it there. You have gotten the question. But I wanted to add, with the permission of my members, this particular contract was first awarded to a company called Innosite on page 18. This particular contract was awarded to Innosite, and there were issues with Innosite. It says the contractor had been paid amounts as stated by Dr. Mwanza, 99,766 kwacha, leaving a balance of 289,836. A physical inspection of the project revealed that the project had been abandoned since 2023, and as at October 2024 the project has stalled and the contractor was not on site. A search at the company's names, the search of the company's name and its directors at Pakra revealed that one of the directors of Innosite is an employee of Lusaka City Council, raising questions about conflict of interest. What Dr. Mwanza asked, we want you to answer. Who is this employee who was part of this contract, who is the owner of this company, that he could not declare interest? And what happened thereafter? You may also respond, because you have failed to recover monies. Up to now, you have entered into an arrangement, appealing, verbal appeal, to have these monies that were supposed to be paid by Innosite. Why has the council taken long to recover from this council employee who could not declare interest, who failed the council and the people of Lusaka? We want you to deal with those 3. Town Clerk.
Well, thank you, Chair. I will answer the first part, then I will ask the engineer to come in on the other part. So, Chair, the Innocent, at the time when he got the contract, he was not a Lusaka Council employee. He was somewhere in Isoka. But last year, around November, October, he was transferred to Lusaka, which also coincided at the time when the audit happened. So, though when he came, we didn't know that he was the owner of the project. So, eventually, for not doing that, we charged him. So, he exculpated himself, and on the part of the abandoning the site, I think he acknowledged and is going to pay back the...
He's going to pay back, just that casually.
No, it's in writing, Chair.
We wanted to see the letter of his transfer to Lusaka City Council. When did he come to Lusaka? It shouldn't be a story. You knew this was an issue.
Okay.
When he came to Lusaka from Isoka, and when you realized he failed Lusaka City Council to do a project, when was he charged? And what was the charge?
The charge was failure to declare.
It's appendix what? F and G. Let's go follow this. F and G, page 62. Page 62. Is page? But you are comfortable. When we start following you, you change the page. Where is the charge letter? Let's go to page 71, and we shall ask you to read, because when we read... Hello?
Let me not submit page 71. Let's just check the SWOT. Is it yes, SWOT again?
So when you said that it is 62, and you are holding it like that, you know we are alive. We are being accused to be unfair. You say the charge letter is there, and you say it's 62. We are opening 62. You change 71. Now you say no, you are withdrawing. Guide us. Where is the charge letter? The town clerk told us that he has charged him.
Chairperson, is it on page 71 under G, appendix G?
Through your chair, charge letter.
Don't you hold on, director. You can't speak before you are asked to. We are trying to.
Chairperson, we are saying me and Honorable Sumwambe have different letters on the same page. Now we want to get a clarification.
To the same thing.
He has changed. You have different letters speaking to the same.
Yes, it's the clinic mother shelter. The letter here was written on the 2nd of May. My letter was done on the 16th of May, and a different message, but the title the same.
The page 71.
Page 71, sir.
71.
Let's just sample what 71 talks about.
Oh, that side is advance payment.
Mine is certificate of site of possession.
Let's go town clerk to page 71. For me, page 71, there is interim payment certificate number 1, contract relating to the construction of a mother shelter at Mandevu Clinic in Mandevu constituency. And it is dated 28th August 2023. To the town clerk from Director Engineering. This is the page 71 of, is it appendix G or? F and G. Let us give them chance. Town clerk, show us the charge letter.
Okay, the charge letter, Chair, was not attached, but we have...
Town clerk, you are taking this committee for granted.
No,
this
Chair.
is, you are.
Chair. So
don't hold on. I'm still talking. You are taking this committee for granted. Not only this committee, the people of Zambia and the people of Lusaka. You cannot continue in the manner you are submitting. You just mentioned, you are on record, that we asked you, where is the what actions have you taken on this innocent? As we saw, we know innocent, but you even went to say innocent. That he was in Isoka, now he's in Lusaka. We want confirmation when he came to Lusaka. Besides that, we said, what actions have you taken for him to abandon? He got money. He couldn't deliver on this contract. He abandoned site. The expectations of the people was that this project was going to be executed within a short period of time. Now, nothing was done. What actions did you take? You told us that you charged him. Where is the charge letter? Just refer to us. We have no problem. Town clerk.
Yes, Chair. So what we have, Chair, because, you know, at the time when he was awarded the contract, he was not part of the LUSAKA employee, because the query there was that, you know, it was a conflict of interest.
Okay, we go past that. Okay, he was not part of LUSAKA.
At
Now
the
we
time
abandoned.
when-
Yes, we have agreed. Let's move on. What actions did you take when you realize now that even he was within your corridors?
Yes, so the fair charge that we thought we should give him, Chair.
You thought? What did you do?
No, according to the contract, because he had like stayed for a long time without completing. So we used the contract clauses, which was where now, because he had breached the contract. So
Okay,
we
what was that?
terminated, he breached the contract. And then, so we terminated and also charged the damages and also asked him to pay.
You permit me to read now the whole text, what you wrote. Page 18. On the action taken, management wishes to report that the contract for Innosight Investment Limited was terminated and a demand letter was written to recover the advance payment, and that was made for works which were not done, and the Innocent Investment Limited has started paying back the new contractor ABCD. Remedial measures. Management has written to a demand notice to the contractor to recover the money amount owed through advance paid and damages charged. Where are they?
So we have on page 70. Sorry. Okay, let me.
Engineer.
Okay. So, Chair, just like the way we've submitted, so like the 61, where now we've done the termination of the contract, this one, then a demand notice written to him, he has started paying, this is evidence of paying.
On page?
Maybe it's called 62 in my book, okay. Then again, Innosight also acknowledged the demand notice that we wrote. He has acknowledged that acknowledgement of the demand letter and the proposal for
when was
installation. This is 17th February 2025. So he has given.
That's what we wanted.
He had even proposed.
What was the date?
The date is 17th February 2025.
The project was for which?
For 2022, Chair. So
2022.
For 2022.
Up to 2025. That's when you undertook this.
No,
because auditors did their work in 2024. No actions were done. Town clerk. Now you are appearing February. That's when you do that. Because he's your fellow employee. He's now at your council. If it was an outsider, we have read that. Dr. Mwanza.
Thank you, Chair. Just a follow-up on this very interesting matter, because the Council says Innosight Investment on page 19.
Yes.
Management also wishes to report that at the time of award, the said director was not an employee of Lusaka City Council. Okay, fine. So this contractor, this director was working for some council somewhere. And I want Lusaka City Council to determine whether this is not collusion or not. A tender is floated in Lusaka City Council for Mandevu Mother's Shelter. The bidder, he has written a letter actually. The director says that his aunt asked for, this is on page 65. No, not page 65. Page 61. Declaration of interest. So this letter, it says, I'm writing to formally declare my interest in the ongoing project for the construction of a mother's shelter at Mandevu Clinic. So it says, prior to the award, Marjorie Nalungwe, my aunt, requested to use the company documents. In short, here is declaring that is declaring interest that I'm aware. Now, who signed the contract between Lusaka City Council and the site? Also, this person, Marjorie Nalungwe, did she get a power of attorney from the company? I'm just leading to where we are supposed to arrive at a conclusion as why we should not call this as collusion. Chair, when the contract was awarded, which was awarded on May 2023, supposed to end 30th of August 2023, contractor mobilizes and pushes the first payment, IPC, on the 28th August, just 2 days before the end of the completion period of the contract. 2 days before. Lusaka City Council pays. After paying, the contractor abandons work site. After 1 year, that is somewhere around the 2024 past December, the Lusaka City Council writes some letters to find out warning letters, warning now why you're out of sight. We will terminate the contract. Lusaka City Council had a chance at a time that the contractor pushed in an IPC 2 days before the end of the completion period. Lusaka City Council would not have paid that, would have called the contractor to determine his capability to finish the contract, because he only had 2 days. So, and within that period, Lusaka City Council was sitting on the advance payment bond guarantee, which was still valid. The validity period for the advance payment bond was 6 months. That is 3 months beyond the completion period, which was on 30th of August 2023. The bid validity was up to end of December, which meant 36 months. So the time that the contractor pushed an IPC 2 days before completion time, it was time to negotiate and determine the fate of this contract, because you have the chance to pay back, to cash out the advance, the bond. Council did not do that, Chair.
End it there.
What if we cannot call this collusion? What should we call it?
Town Clerk.
Thank you, Chair.
Chair, I need also to mention that the Innocent Kazembe is my Assistant Director Engineering in my office. So the way you are coming, Honorable, that is how it is. he got this contract when he was in soccer. He came in, we reported the same day on 1st of November. As the boss, I didn't know that he was a contractor. So the moment I discovered that he's a contractor, us were not knowing that we are having a contractor within ourselves. So if you see the declaration, it's declaring somewhere after he had reported. So this case has even gone to disciplinary HR committee. When I charged him to ask, that's how he was now doing these letters to say my aunt, my what, all that, under his signature and everything like that. Honorable. Then, so now we terminated the contract. So the other part I wanted to answer through the Honorable, I say, why is the price ×2? Number one, first, the engineer's estimate was around 600 and something. So Innocent was awarded, because of the EGP, it goes for the least bidder. So he was awarded at 390 something. Yes, it was awarded at 390. What it is for the EGP, it goes for the list. So he was awarded 390 something. So now he started executing. I think because of the funds were a bit less, he failed to execute. Then he was in Isoka. He came to our council. So at the time we discovered that he is a council employee. So I did a charge letter to ask. Then he responded in this manner. So we also terminated the contract, and he did also those commitments that he would do the payments. We're also waiting for disciplinary actions, the commission, or that to be done. So instead of leaving that, it is, in fact, it's a project for 2023. So instead of leaving the project, so let's proceed to award the next contractor so that we're able to execute this project.
Now, are you seeing, Town Clerk, that you officers, you are the danger to this CDF? The revelations that are coming from the engineer, director engineering, me, I'm very happy. On this matter, I cannot continue because now you have reviewed. You actually charged him.
Yes.
And when you charged him, you have not shown this committee the charge letters. Even if you show us the charge letters, when did you charge him?
So I charged him. If I'm around, I can still
within just a month or a year.
It should be January, January, I think.
2020.
2025.
When you knew that you were coming to this committee.
No.
These atrocities, if I can call them, they were committed some time back. You were transferred a long time ago. You discovered these things, and you couldn't charge him. And the charge letters are just, these human resource management committees are controlled by yourselves. The composition is mostly yourselves. You can even tell us that this matter has gone when it has not gone. And that is where, when people are saying, let us devolve or decentralize these functions, this is the danger. If this was under the commission, Local Government Service Commission, this matter could have been heard. But they have delegated to you. One of you is entangled, is your friend, and some of you could be involved, even here. Or somewhere else. You cannot bring this matter. You just want to use it when you appear that we did this. So the Human Resource Management Committee. So you see, this committee of yours, we are merely trying to review the wrongs you are doing. From the audit report and your responses, the issues are done by yourselves. Town Clerk and your team. All this data at LUSAKA City Council is not because you are not competent. You are highly qualified. It's the attitude. If you go in confidence, you deal with the lifestyle. That's when you can see. This is a bad report. And this is a bad case of insight. It's just one of the issues. We have so many. We can go even 24 hours. We are determined because we want to show you that what you are doing is not correct. So, the issue of insight, before we come to the termination, you rushed because you have not even recovered. You rushed, let us rush because he's your friend. He's an assistant director. In advanced jurisdictions, nations, you are supposed to retire. Even you're supposed to resign, town clerk, for presiding over a council that is failing. If actually you were the engineer, but because here is normal, we clap for even wrong things. Starting from you, you are supposed to say, I'm not fit to be town clerk of Lusaka. The innocent person is supposed to have resigned. The director himself, he was supposed to have resigned because the charge letter is not being followed. The director of human resources, if is he or she is here, all of you. But now this is Zambia. Even when we talk like that, oh, Honorable Nyambosa and his committee, the normal have become abnormal. The abnormal have become normal. You cannot look at this Lusaka. The president has said, here is the money. Let this money benefit the people of Mandevu, the people of Matero, Chiawama, through you, local authority. It's not a favor. That is why you were created. You were created to provide services to the community. Through you, that is how development is supposed to be done. It's a bottom up. You are a government at the local level. But now you, the president has done his part, the MPs have done their part, the issue is with you. One day, I'm just joking, this one don't take it on record, town clerk. One day, we just ask this team to go even round the council, Lusaka City Council. Many can be arrested from this. You know that. And our appeal is, if you can't change, time will change you. So, innocent. The employer is coming. We're not trying to be unfair. He wrote a letter, declaration of interest. Look at the way we read. We go deeper. If we are going to go deeper even from now. I'll ask him, then Dr. Mwanza. On this one, let us wind up. On innocent, on this project.
Yeah, Chair, then I would go to the next question.
Okay, you can ask a question.
Yeah.
You can ask on this
On
one.
the same page, Chair, on page 61, I just wanted Lusaka City Council to confirm, when you look at the demand letter there, it talks about first installment 20,000 by 28th of February, another one March 20,000 by 28th of March, the last one was 15,000 by April 28th. I wanted them to confirm whether these payments have fully been paid.
Where is Major Narunga? It's from the company. So these payments, simple one. Director of Finance, have you received these payments?
Chair, we have only received 10,000 kwacha. That was on 80th April. 10,000 kwacha, yes. On 80th April.
There you are.
So after receiving 10,000, because here the agreement was first installment 20,000 kwacha to be paid 20th February 2025. The other one was supposed to be paid on the 28th March 2025, 20,000, then 15, which is yet to come. Now, up to now, we have received only 10,000 kwacha. Is it not a violation of the agreement? And if it is, what actions have you taken? Director Legal, you are party to this agreement. Are you aware about this? Director Legal, help us.
Thank you, Chair. I will still leave it to the engineers. They have more information on the issues concerning Innocent company. Thank you.
It's a council issue. This agreement was entered when? Why you have asked you? This was 17th of February 2025. Were you involved in this? Or did you have sight of this agreement?
No, Chair.
Town clerk, how do you operate? These are casual arrangements. You just get a headed paper, you will do it, the two of you, without involving legal. Town clerk.
Thank you, Chair. It's still a contractual issue. So when it goes out of hand, that's when we'll sue. That's when they will... No, apologies, Chair, if I have. But what I'm trying to say, no. Maybe. Yes.
We don't want to ask. We don't want to ask you. You are currently and you are the legitimate town clerk. But
Yes.
the way you respond and the way you are dealing with issues, I'm very sorry.
Apologies, Chair. So what I'm...
We may. It is not possible that we avoid you. But if there was a way, we would have asked another person to help you. But because you are the one who is the town clerk, but you are making this session a joke. This is an agreement on contractual issues. Someone has defaulted and you made a decision that that person should pay back. They have committed themselves. You have not involved legal department. Do you know local government, sir?
Yes, sir.
You don't. You don't. You need to go to Chalimbana if we you see, local government administration, whether you are engineer, you need to pass through, or NIPA, to go and learn. These are straightforward issues where legal should be involved. Anything to do with the contractual issues, they should pass through legal. Things to do with financial, director of finance, engineering, planners, all those. Now he is your own employee, you are protecting him, he declared interest, even defaulting on the payments. And I'm sure it's only this committee that can bring out such issues. Without us, this thing is a buried issue, it's business as usual. There could be so many bad transactions that are taking place, you just ignore them. Sad. Dr. Manza, so what actions are you planning? I know that today, after today, your appearance will not be there. You are concluded. Maybe for the sake of those who follow it up on our behalf.
Thank you, Chair. We'll recover from the salaries, Chair, if he continues defaulting.
What mandate do you have?
You have to recover from a salary.
Someone's personal salary.
This is a company.
It's a company.
It's a company. So it has no connection with the... Also,
he's the owner of the company.
Also, no. It's one of those directors.
Sir,
please.
The one you have as your employee, white or right, a corporate institution, there are other members of the company. Unless it is in written the way he wrote, you can pursue it. But you go to someone's salary. It's a corporate body. It's independent. It's a company to Lusaka City Council. Unless he himself says, okay, because I'm a member of a major shareholder, I will commit. He should put it again in writing. And you are the ones to say, you make a suggestion. And him too. You cannot just pounce on his salary. That's what I'm saying. You understand local government. Us who we are not as we are able to understand the basic. Now you town clerk, you cause more problems for the council if that route you take. Dr. Mwanza, on this one,
I'm just the last one. In the first instance, I asked to say this episode, if we cannot call it collusion, what can we call? When town clerk and the works department determine the contract without involving legal, they determine the penalty. They call it a penalty. It's not a penalty. We have to look at the interest. We have to look at the issue of conflict of interest. The performance of this contractor on this particular contract is the treatment that you gave to terminate a contract and then recover the advance payment. You wanting to recover the advance payment and then you even agree to go into installments can be done to any other contractor. But the issue of conflict of interest, the engineer would like, I would like the engineer maybe to clarify, lest we mislead people. He is defending to say this contractor, because of that question which I said, why the price, completion price is now twice. He says the budget for this contract was around 600. This site got the project at 389 because EGP selects the lowest price. So he had financial problems to execute the project. EGP does not award a contract. It is manually done. And you compare your prices, your confidential priced estimate with what contractors have submitted, and there are even price margins where someone is maybe 20%, 10% above the engineer's estimate. Now in this case, this site had bid, his bid was 308, and you are saying the contract price was 600. The confidential cost price was 600. That is minus 45% below the budget price. How could he get this contract? And
Engineer.
use this to defend, to say this contractor was awarded because his price, because the EGP selects. I want you to give that clarification to the public, because it will cause problems. When people submit their tenders on EGP and the results are out, you find that he is the lowest, but he hasn't been selected.
That's the case, because sometimes where you justify, you can even get someone who is the highest bid.
And if we go to page 65 of Appendix F, it seems this site had a lot of insight about this project. He is saying, we wish to sincerely apologize for the delay in delivering the works within the contractual period. The delay has primarily been caused by financial constraints arising from an underestimation of the project cost at the initial budgeting phase. Between a contractor or a bidder and a client, who does the budget? For the bidder here to show that he had the insights in the budget, to say it was underestimated. Between a contractor and a bidder and a client, who sets the budget? So all
And
these
just in there,
yes. Is this not collusion now? Huh?
Engineer, you misled this committee. Okay. Or maybe you still stick that EGP is the one who selects.
Okay, I wanted just to be assisted by head of procurement when it comes to pricing. EGP does not pick the list. It's as after maybe you pass all the criteria.
But what did you tell this committee?
I want to withdraw that part, Chair, that EGP does not award the list. I miss.
I was very, being kind when I say this transaction is a source of serious investigation, and instead of resigning, some of you can get arrested because you have taken issues of collusion and whatever as a normal thing in the councils. This matter is a serious matter. So, no, I want to allow them to respond. You have just responded that let procurement help you. We want to get from procurement.
Just on the pricing. In terms
No,
of
everything.
Yes, just on
What
the
was involved? How did this person talk about the budgeting? And maybe, further, our fear or my fear, I don't want to preempt what you're going to say. Even his movement from wherever to Lusaka was meant to. It's either cover or to come and do more damage to Lusaka City Council. It was engineered. If you follow this, and it can even go to the commission. So, can we get responses?
I want to just say, Head of Government, to help in terms
Procurement,
of
where are you?
just the pricing part.
Okay.
The pricing.
Find a seat near here where Dr. Mwanza is just alone. Come here, procurement, come over here. Have the peace, engineer. Yes, draw near. We are live on TV.
Yeah, yes, Chair. Maybe just to clarify on what the director said.
Draw, pull it. Yeah, yes.
Where he has said the system selects the price. It doesn't select, but there is an option where we usually use the lowest bidder.
But not the EGP?
Not the EGP. On the EGP system, there is an option where we select, we always go for the lowest bidder.
We or the EGP?
Not the EGP. When you are...
So, just end there, slowly. Don't try to defend your boss. He misled us. And you see, since we are public, people tend to believe you. They want to believe what you tell in this committee. The EGP does not select. From the people who bid, you bring them down to say, whom do we pick closer to? Sometimes I've seen, even when someone is picked because of the nature of the work, you feel that some of the bidders who bid low, who do low bids, you fear that they may compromise the quality of the work. Even that's what you do. We know these things. So you cannot come here and tell us that the EGP selects the lowest bidder. And you are comfortable. What are you doing to your country, Vane? What are you doing to your country? I was telling people that, you see, when we report for work, what do we go to do? And when you are coming here, you are coming to tell this committee, the problem is you are coming to respond to us. That is where the issue is. You are not dealing with the issues to correct them, to do the correct things. The day that you are going to do correct things, that will be the beginning of the better things for this country. So, you are coming to respond. And even when you are answering, you are even saying page 72 of K to what? That appendix. When there is no charge letter, said we charged him. Because you want to respond to us. The best is, are you doing the correct things in your offices? You go, even you meet there as the town clerks. The committee is too tough on us. Tough? Are we the ones who are making you not to supervise those cracks? Are we the ones? So you want us to keep quiet when this thing is stinking. Then when we ask you like this, you want to... Unfortunately, the Zambian people have realized they want to see accountability to the resources. We have been favored by the president who's giving resources. You go and meet in Charimbana. You want to tell the minister, the committee is what? The committee. You are even spending money in Charimbana there. Spending money to answer what? Answer them now. You are being audited. Are you doing the correct things? So, you are missing the point. You are making documents, doctoring them. to respond to us. The mess was done there. Even today, the time we are knocking off, damage is being done. You are not correcting it. Your juniors are doing wrong things. So this matter and the other matters we want to demonstrate today. We want to institute serious measures. If there are people to be arrested, we shall appeal to go there, dig down what is happening. That's why that innocent got transfer. Why not other council from Isoka, Lusaka? And he has issues there. And we are happy, director. You even said, I discovered that is a what, and you charged him. Why did you? Why, when is the Human Resource Management Committee? Do you have director admin here? Those involved. Why are you not meeting to deal with this issue? Let us clean Lusaka City Council. The people of Lusaka are not getting the services that they deserve. Another question? No, let's move to another question. Allow me to take you to page 23. Let's go to page 23. Page 23, it is on the delays in delivery of desks. Are you there, Town Clerk? In October, you made an advance payment of 103,950, representing 15% of the contract amount made to this contractor called Natumwi General Dealers. Actually, the contract price was 693,000 kwacha with a delivery period of 6 weeks in Munali constituency. You made an advance of 103,950. Additionally, the contract specified the liquidated damages of 0.5% per week for delayed delivery. Yet no liquidated damages were applied to the contractor and or supplier despite the delay. Are you there? Engineering? Everyone. Your response. Your response is that management acknowledges the observation made by external auditors and wishes action taken. Action taken. Action taken. Management wishes to report that the supplier delivered 285 desks at a total sum of 329,170, which the advance payment of 103 was fully recovered, and the contract was terminated, and the balance of desks have since been approved by Perojo to award Zambia Correctional Service. You terminated the contract when this contractor failed to deliver. Did you recoup the value for the money that you paid this contractor? Number two, failure to terminate the contract. I'll read the clause 34.1 of the contract. Require that the contractor to promptly provide the written notification of any delivery delays. That's the requirement, that there is the notification if there is any delay, and permit contract termination if delivery is not completed. You can request for extension, contract addendum, and everything. Now, contrary to this, nothing was done. contrary to the clause, nothing was done. And management has said, management needs to report that the contract has since been terminated and awarded a new contractor on such a day. If you check Appendix I, let's go to Appendix I. Over this contract. Where is I? So many of them. I had marked it, so I wanted to look for it because I marked them. Oh, I is here. Is it I? Yes. Are we there, TC? What is the date of the delivery? What is the date of the delivery note? 2025. When was the contract terminated? You see the date of termination. The contractor delivers after termination. That's what the delivery note is reading. Appendix I. February 2025. So, the contract was terminated. How does this contractor deliver according to this? And that's in 2025, that's when the audit section checked it. What could be the explanation, Town? Only checked by audit on 21st February 2025. The transactions for 2023-2024, that's when the post audit was done, February, as we were coming to this. It's on page 24 from 23. Appendix I, yeah. You look at the date of the audit, the delivery note or the audit there. Let me combine it with page 21, Town Clerk, so that our person who is coming to help. We go to 21. Failure to replace rejected desks. You awarded a contract to Francis Villa Aerosport to deliver 375 desks to school in Munkolo Ward at a contract price of 450,000 with a delivery period of 6 weeks. As at August 2024, the supplier had been paid 360,000 kwacha from 450. This is Kanyama constituency. The desks specified are there, 1,100 by 400 by what? Now come to the question. As at October 2024, they rejected desks had not been collected or replaced from New Kanyama School 15 months past the contract completion date. 15 months past the completion date. 15 months is 1 year, 3 months. Past the completion date, the rejected desks were not replaced or collected away from Kanyam. So those desks have not been done. I know the rich person will be saying we have since delivered because we cannot confirm with the delivery notes. So I wanted to bring you to speed over the issue of desks. Delivery notes, because you just pick documents. Is it matching? You stamp it. You forget the dates. The date is different, the pages are different. So I wanted to show you that we have read it, and I want to ask you to respond to what I've just brought out. Town clerk, you want to add before?
Yes, Chair, about desks, Chair. I want to marry it with the borax on page 24. Chair, they asked this company, Willapam General Trading Limited, to supply 600 borax. 600. And 90 school desks, 40 laboratory tools. And so this company, Chair, failed to supply. When you look at the cause of the query, Chair, management would like to state that the supplier did not have sufficient capacity to fulfill the delivery of 600 borax desks within the designated time frame. However, the provision of 90 desks and 40 laboratory stools were successfully delivered. Now, my question is, then in the action taken, they are stating that management wishes to state that the supplier delivered a total of 516 borax. Now my question, Chair, is why do you award the contracts to contractors that are or that do not have the capacity to perform? Look at even most of the contracts. They are cracked because they don't have the capacity. You mentioned capacity. You also talk about even delivery of desks, Chair. They are not able to. Why do you award a huge number of borax, desks, and so on to a company that is not able to deliver? Because the way I see it, Chair, if it is borax, maybe we are given to split maybe 3 companies, they may have been able to deliver, but you pile a lot of work on one particular company that does not have the capacity. Why? I submit, Chair.
Town clerk.
Thank you, Chair. With desk, Chair, let me admit to say on starting in 2023, we had a challenge with the suppliers with desks. So each time we awarded, we faced a lot of these challenges. However, going forward, what we have done, we have identified those suppliers that have the capability to deliver the desk, because eventually along the way, this was new. I think when the issue of desk, when we started in 2023, CDF was just coming on the scene. And then by then, it took us also a bit of time to discover the contractors and suppliers that would do well in this avenue. Then on the other part, I request the Assistant Director to say something.
Just before the Assistant Director comes in, these issues of desk you are trying to find justification, you are not the ones who make them. I want to put the record straight here. Your role as a council is to procure someone who can do and also certify the standard, to be assisted by the DEB's office, Minister of Education. Even when government will come in now, because of this, they want to come in and procure, they are going to use the same suppliers. The same Zambians. Why is it that under the council, it is failing? By any other institution, it should work. Whom do you think the government will do? Are they not going to use the same Zambians? So it's not that the issue of desks came in 2022, it's a new thing, no. You know a desk, you have been sitting on a desk. The issue is the issues of the behavior and attitude of council employees. You, yourselves, to manage this, to supervise. So I wanted to put it clear and straight. It's not an issue of these desks came in 2022, it was a new phenomenon. These issues are to do with you as officers. If you don't accept this, you will keep on failing. The issue has to do with yourselves. So I wanted to put it straight. You can ask the assistant director. Assistant director.
Thank you, Chair. For Natumwi General Dealers, he was paid according to the IPC. That is what page is? According to the IPC, amounting to 103,950 kwacha. And then when we look at what he delivered more than the amount that he was paid. The contract was then terminated because he delayed to the contract.
No, you're protected, coach.
The contract, Chair, was terminated because he failed to deliver on time, as with the many suppliers. Thank you, Chair. Then on the Kanyama, there were 75 defective desks. So these defective desks were actually made of MDF, and they were rejected by engineering department, and therefore he was not paid for the 75 desks. Thank you, Chair.
So you terminate a contract to someone who delivers more beyond. How generous was he to deliver more than what he was requested? Or maybe at the time of delay. What do you mean when you say he delivered more than what was expected? Or what was paid?
Chair, what was paid was
okay, delivered
less
more.
Than, yes, he delivered more than what was paid.
Okay. Dr. Manza, as we wind up.
Just the page 46 just requires just a short explanation. On page 46. On page 46 is just showing the general performance of community projects in terms of unspent funds for the period under review. Table is appendix 2.1, unspent funds, community projects. Lusaka, Central, Munali, Wandevu, Matero, Kanyama, Kawata, and Chawama. The balance in the bank account as at 31st December 2023 is shown, second last column. And the unspent money in terms of percentage is the last column. Now it is a bit interesting to find that Lusaka Central had 100% unspent money by the end of 31st December 2023. Whereas these other constituencies have varying percentages of unspent money. Then if we go to page 50, Lusaka Central has the administration component. The whole administration component was unspent by 31st December 2023. There was 100% in the account, whilst other constituencies showed movement. And then if we go to page 51, the next page, is showing the 2022 community projects that were executed in 2023. So the number of projects brought forward from 2022 funding on all these constituencies, Lusaka Central had 20 projects that were brought forward from 2022 to 2023. And they implemented 19 out of 20, only one in work in progress. Would this be a confirmation that for Lusaka Central, you only implement the projects after the completion of brought forward projects? What I mean is, 2022, they had the highest number of projects brought forward in 2023 fiscal year. And within 2023, you implemented almost all of them. But you never implemented nothing under 2023 funding for community projects. Even the administration cost, you never touched it. How do you explain this kind of strategy where movements in other constituencies is evident, but for Lusaka Central, it shows that you only implement projects upon completion of projects that are brought forward from another financial year? Thank you.
Town Clerk.
Director Plan.
Thank you very much, Chair. Allow me to mention that, Chair, this must be a typo error, Chair. Otherwise, projects were running just like in these other 6 constituencies, Chair. I submit.
The question is, do you go through your reports? So, yes.
Apologies, Chair. I think this was an oversight, Chair.
Now, would you vouch for this committee that the issue is with yourselves? What you submit to us and what we read is arising, what we bring out is arising from your report. Maybe let me take you also to page 17. Are we there on page 17, Town Clerk? Let's go to page 17. That one here said is typo. Then there is a contract of a 1/3 CRB, Ngombe Primary School. Contract period 10 months. Town Clerk. Is this a typo or is it the first time you're giving a contractor to do a 1/3 classroom block for contract period 10 months? Are you reading what I'm reading? Yes, sir. Is it 10 months even there? Yes. It's 10 months. So how unique is this 1/3 classroom block that a contract period should be 10 months? Town Clerk. Director Engineering. Procurement.
She was the manager.
She was the contract manager. We hear from you. Maybe at procurement before she manages. Are you part of the procurement? We hear from you. 10 months procurement. Is it procurement or engineering? 1/3 classroom block, contract period 10 months, Lusaka City Council, city number 1 of the Republic of Zambia. We hear from you, Director.
Thank you, Chair. This particular contractor had challenges in executing this project. As stated in Appendix F, page 12, where he was requesting for extensions because he was having challenges with his workmanship. So, Appendix F and G, page 12.
So for me, who is a layman, before I go to the appendices, I just read, and you are the ones who have written. Column number 3, project, first column number 1, project, construction of 1/3 CRB, Ngombe Primary School. Contractor, Transatlantic Ventures. Contract period, 10 months. Start date, 25 July 2023. Expected completion date, 31st May 2024. You have written this. It is not the challenges you have given in the first contract. When I'm reading from here, you have given that this contract will be for 10 months. Is this a standard at Lusaka you can give a period? Then where do you put those expectations of quick delivery of a project? Director Engineering, Assistant Director Engineering.
Thank you, Chair. Table 4, Chair, is the findings from Auditor General, where they've listed the outstanding works. So, like I mentioned, the contractor, this particular contractor had challenges in the way he was executing the project. However, we reprimanded him and he managed to complete the project.
Honorable Mulunda.
Chair, what you are asking the director is not paragraph 4 or column what. It's just asking a simple question. Is that the standard for 10 months to do a 1/2 or 1/3? 1/3. Is it 10 months? So at which time? So it means, Director, are we together? It means this 10 months passed, elapsed, and then you started engaging him now. Is it a standard for 10 months, 1/3, 10 months? Is that correct? Chairperson, I'm surprised and I'm shocked by this wonderful Lusaka City Council, number 1 a council. You know, you ask so uncoordinated. One is in the project. When they are cracking the town clerk
because of the planks,
will say there is a plank there. On the price, you will say no, there are plugs there. On what? These things that we do, ceiling boards we put, but we are asking, but everything. Then they say the EGP actually can give you the price. No, we actually, somebody delivered more discs and then we terminated the contract. Are you able to follow any coordinated submission from our number 1 city? You ask the legal officer about issues. He said, no, I'm not aware. So do you sit together and say, no, legal officer, this is your line of operation. This is your role. When you go there, please give them the information. We'll sit as a team. You ask the town clerk. Said, no, it's still the contractual. And every wrong thing, the town clerk is defending it. Every wrong thing, the town clerk will try to run away from it. This chairperson, I'm not supposed to conclude, you have concluded, but the Lusaka City Council, instead of being the shining example of positive, of doing the right thing, the opposite is happening.
I just want to show you. Have you seen my report? This is how dangerous I go through. I spend up to midnight. I don't want to be unfair to you. If you see me forward like this, and all these even appendices, I do that. Why? I owe my service to this country. I will not come here, or this committee to come here and to be unfair to you. I read. And what I've just asked you about the 10 months period, this is here. We didn't create it. And if you, when you are engaging the auditors, they are the ones who put it here, that means during the engagement, you did not take audit serious. You should have shown them the actual period for the contract is 2 months. Then there was this extension. Now, again, if we are going to look at the extension, assistant director, please, you are the ones sympathizing with the contractor who is non-performing and not terminating. No, the contractor. How special is this contractor for the Ngombe Primary School, 1x3 classroom block? Why are these still these contractors same employees of the council? You don't mind what the president has said. This money should change the lives of the people of Zambia by having projects delivered on time and good quality. You don't. You are not shaken. I just wanted, you see, all my reports, when I go even now, I will go whichever council, I will read, check, and we don't manufacture these things. And that's why we told you that we can go on and on and on. I can show you how prepared we are. We can ask you questions. We know, because this committee is a serious committee. If you councils are not serious, it's your fault. What we are trying to do is to help our country. These auditors are doing a great job. And they're the ones who give us work. Right now, they have started auditing LUSAKA. They've done Chiranga. Are we there? Is a committee involved? They just bring a report. This is what we have found. You deal with issues there. Those missing documents, your juniors, your subordinates, are they keeping the documents? You delegate auditors to your subordinates. You are lucky that you cannot be fired. The day officers will start getting fired for poor performance, negligence of duty, that's the time that everyone will wake up. Nowadays you don't. Whatever the case, you know, here, you have no one of you. No accountability. You cannot build a nation like that. You are undermining the government of the day. Your actions, if you don't know. No wonder when you walk in the streets of LUSAKA, they hear people, no, in this Yavonga, CDF is working. People are saying CDF is for those not in LUSAKA. This is the case. The MPs have done their part. They will make these. But the people who take up, from the time the CDF committee comes, they make a resolutions or recommendations or select projects. Then officers, they take up the show. The day you officers will start doing the correct thing, this country will be at another level. And there is no one else out there, yourselves, if you change the attitude. I want to conclude. Dr. Mwanza, if it is pressing, one short one.
Just on the same. On Ngombe, 1x3 classroom block. We can go to page 24.
Let's go to page 24.
Because the planner tried to say that this table is from the Auditor General, but in the communication, the correspondence between the contractor and the client is all confirming that the project completion period is 10 months. So they've kept on they've kept on giving extension of time. Every time that the contractor applies for extension time is given. So now, page 24, there's a letter. It was written on Appendix F. Appendix F, page 24.
Page 24?
Yes, Appendix F, page 24. The pages are handwritten at the bottom. Contract relating to the construction of a 1x3 classroom block at Ngombe Primary School in Mandevu, CDF 2022. No, this was even a 2022 project. And it's given 10 months to complete. It only...
Is it a swampy area or not passable?
And this letter was written on 18th July 2023 and sent to the town clerk signed it on 19th July 2024. 1 year. Engineer liftering.
Is the one, engineer.
Okay. Yeah, I mean on page 24. I just want to confirm, I mean to find out, to clarify. You write a letter on 18th July 2023. And then it is sent to the managing director after 1 year on the 19th July 2024.
Repeat yourself, Doc.
The letter.
Town clerk.
The letter on page 24, we can also see it. A contract relating to the, so this letter was actually informing the contractor, snag list, just some kind of defects that the contractor should correct. And it was written on 18th July 2023. We can see the letter up there, I mean the date up there. Then it took 1 year.
27th October 2023. Oh, there's another one next there.
No.
Page 24.
Yes. Yes, but no. The date on is our reference ESD, so the same line. There's a letter. I mean the date there, and anyway, but this I know for sure. It's just negligence, and I mean it cannot take 1 year to stamp the letter and then send it to the contractor. But the point we're stressing is this. We want to understand exactly why a project funded in 2022, it can be given 10 months, a 1x3 classroom block. What is the geological condition of that area? I mean, what contractual difficulties are there in that particular place?
Is this the Ngombe in LUSAKA?
2022.
Maybe it's a Ngombe in another
2022 funding
province.
And so,
Doc, it's okay. What is your explanation? 10 months contract to build a 1x3 classroom block. Who is this contractor in this name? Who was given that? Town clerk.
Thank you, Chair. The project was funded, it started in 2022. It was funded in 2 phases. Now, but along the way also, I think there's a time period there, the engineer mentioned. Along the way, the contractor had a lot of issues, delays there and there. So that's what caused for it to prolong.
Chairperson, before you reach along the way, but you gave him 10 months at the beginning, when you are signing.
No.
That's what the document is saying.
The document that we have, maybe another town clerk.
Yes.
We want to be fair. We are concluding.
Yes.
Town clerk, a letter in your office written to this contractor on 18th July 2023, only delivered 1 year after, on 19th July. You are lowering the standard of...
Yeah, on that one, we say apologies. So the engineer made the mistake because on the date, Because when we write to inform you that officers from engineering visited above site on 11th June 2024.
The letter from your office, are you not Engineer Lifting Ndaba, acting town clerk? A letter on your letterhead, you as town clerk, addressed to the managing director, Transatlantic Ventures Limited, plot number 155A, 1555A Lumumba Road, PO Box 33276 Lusaka. Contract relating to the construction 1x3 classroom block at Ngombe Primary School in Mandevu, under that minute, dated 18th July 2023. Only signed a year later, and that's when it is given to the contractor. Now, we are trying to check the standard at Lusaka City Council. A letter that you. So, can you tell me this also unfair treatment on your part to question a letter, town clerk, number 1 Lusaka? This is the standard that you have lowered the council to. You cannot explain this. And the contract, reading from your own documents, 10 months contract. I've never seen it. Months, not weeks. And it's in your report. In conclusion, town clerk, we can keep on and on and on. At some time, we lose it, we become emotion, because on our part, on behalf of Madam Speaker and National Assembly, who have constituted this committee to look at these issues, on our part, why we become emotional is because we expect too much from you. From you, on your side, town clerk, this is the best. This is the best. From our part, we are saying we expect you to do as expected. For you to ask you those questions, it is unfair to have a date or to do a letter 1 year later. That's when you sign it. That is a normal thing on your side. That's why we become emotional and we seek apologies. The Zambian people are expecting us to do better. You cannot give a contract. When you hear the president, when we are growing up, when we are young people, let me share this if you don't know. We were told there's a day that I was employed, 14th of February 1995, in the council. My friend was employed on a day earlier. In the same position, we were told and mentored and tutored to say, in terms of class, you are one classified as clerical officers. However, seniority demands that even the person who was there, who got job before you, is senior to you. What were they trying to inculcate in us is to understand seniority and hierarchy. We were mentored to take work serious. And that's why I said, if you go back to your office, Engineer Ndaba, check the people who have passed through that council. I'll give you one example. I'll be forced. The chairperson, the vice chairperson of the Electoral Commission of Zambia, Simwinga, was transferred from Kitwe to Lusaka, back to Kitwe. And if you look at the people who are occupying that office, when you read through, you note that that is city number 1. The Ministry of Law Government and the government and the president is sitting, is under Lusaka. You are managing the city number 1. All of you as officers, you have gone on record to be directors, officers under Lusaka City Council. Look at yourselves. This is an issue you should take home and reflect. The expectation of the Minister of Local Government on Lusaka City Council, you are supposed to be a shining example, as it indicated. In everything, who is going to benchmark with you on CDF in this country to come and benchmark with you? When the councils were in arrears, 34 months, Mongo, 32 Mbala, Chipata 28, Chongo was in 13 months, and I was an employee. We went to benchmark in Kalomo. Yes. We went to benchmark in Chipata. Why? We followed the late Bernard Siwakwi. May his soul rest in peace. These are icons. Why go to learn? Chipata was in problems when Siwakwi left Kalomo to go to Chipata. It became. I'm just giving an example in conclusion. Why you are Lusaka, all of you. Councils like Kafue, councils like Shangombo, councils like Vubwi, councils like Kalulushi, all these councils should come and benchmark with you, Lusaka, how you are managing CDF, how you are managing operations of the council. But the opposite is the case. What are they going to learn? With this report, this is the worst report. Even if we have not seen those to come, it is not being unfair to you. That's why I said at a certain point that in a civilized jurisdiction, one was going to render a resignation. It's a letdown to the country. Government through the president has given us resources, not us as council employees, as these MPs, but the people of Zambia through us. What are we doing to the president? It has never happened. I was at the helm of the decentralization agenda. This man knows. This. There were no resources being given. Councils just had the functions. There were no resources. This is the first time in the history of this country that the country has said, okay, me as a president and the government, we are going to give resources, devolve, and these are the resources to the Zambian people so that they see the benefit through the local authorities, which is not a favor or a what. It is why you were created. Now you are doing this. The people of Zambia are saying we are not seeing much. In Chasefu, things are happening. In Vubwi, in other, why can't you do it, Engineer Ndaba? When you look at this, we have not talked. I'm happy that you came with our officer from Taveta. There are serious issues here where monies are paid to colleges which are not under Taveta. In this report, we have not talked about that. Let me read some of the issues. Failure to produce monitoring reports. It is here. All these cracks we talked about, engineer, it's because you don't monitor. And even if you do monitor, you are supposed to come up with a report. And every project has, if you don't know, it is happening in these other councils. Each project, the contractor has a document, a logbook. Engineer, am I correct? There is a logbook. And that logbook, when you go, whoever goes visits a project, each project, there's a logbook. You indicate what you have observed and whatever you have visited. Then you go as a team, do a report. What we saw on this report is ABCD. Why? We're not supposed to tell you. Us MPs to be the ones telling you. Second, the other issues that are saying, disbursement of grants to unknown applicants. At the time of audit, you cannot justify no record to show that these people who are getting grants are coming from this, and WDCs have given those. Anyone who comes, can you give these? You give them. For auditors, that is a query. It is in this report. Questionable payments to skills at non-operational training centers. It is here. At the time of audit, I said that it's not an issue of competence. Competence you have. You are better qualified than those who were doing a good job when there had no resources in the councils. They are the basic qualifications. This time you have the most qualified people in the councils, all of them. Everyone has a paper. Good paper. If a paper means competence, I will leave it to you. The expectations of the Zambian people are, what are you delivering? Questionable colleges. At the time of audit, you couldn't produce the TVET documents to the auditors? Colleges which are created for the purpose of getting CDF, they get CDF. When the president says, I want to build skills for these Zambians, we don't seem to understand. It's only these artisans that can build a country. It's not us, the white collar things. White collar people. It's the welders. It's the bricklayers who can build this nation. And we are not just taking them to a college that is in mushrooms with the people who have no competence. They have no lecturers. They create just to get CDF. You get 2 million. Then immediately they get that money. 3 months, it closes. Is that the purpose? Let us help the government. Do not do that. Before you take these students, go and check this college. We didn't want to bring out those issues which are there. They're dangerous. And they need law enforcement agencies to go down to check. If we mean well to this country and we mean well to the government, which has for the first time taken decentralization seriously, this is the government. But you officers aren't helping. The other one is failure to avail GRNs. No goods received notes. It's there. You buy things, you deliver. No GRNs. It's casual way. Go and take. Where have you taken the councils? Engineer Ndava. Delay in completion of projects. The one I've mentioned. One of them, Lusaka Central. If you look at the delays across all the... Because you're not taking these things. You have taken CDF as by the way issue. But those of us, you know that the CDF is just giving you back your main mandate. Your main mandate is to provide services. Provide services to the people. Effective and functional local government system, it gives services to the people of Lusaka. That man there, the director of finance, I'm now mentioning them as I close. This man Mainga, they know. So it's not a bad thing to go and check what the local government administration is. Basic to know the demands of the people. It's a bottom-up arrangement. What the people demand, we are working for them. We are not working for ourselves. So this is the bad report for Lusaka City Council. If we are the way we sent you back, we are going to send you, but we're not. We wanted to bring this out for the people of Lusaka to appreciate what is going on. Let us help the Minister of Local Government. Let us help the government. We are not doing it for the president. We are doing it for the Zambian people. The problem, you think that when we do the correct things, we are helping this man. This man has just been given by the Zambian people to say he's now the president. This is the good policies he's doing. All these good policies, Zambia can change. But this committee is not going to sit back. We are going to help. As we don't mind, as long as we leave a legacy of order. We are making individual and the collective recommendations to the commission. Your employer is coming. And we make daily recommendations. Because you can bring down a good government through your actions. you can do that. We are not going to do that. Things that is working is not about a government, but these are good policies for the Zambian people. Let the people of Lusaka see the benefit. The people of Lusaka are not seeing the benefit from the council. We are going to help that. So with that said, Town Clerk, as you go back, if at all you pick anything from what we have done today, it will be good for you. If it's the business as usual, we cannot change. This is the standard now. That's why I say that whatever we say, we even saying, you get even upset. What is he talking about? Because we have lowered the standard. We think we do a favor for the to the Zambian people. But we can do better. I always say that there are better people with good credentials than us. Even me as a member of parliament, there are better people who can do better than me. There are a lot of people there who can do better than me. So I'm just privileged. When I'm here, I should do the correct thing. So that tomorrow, the people say, during the time of Ndaba, during the time of Nyambose, during the time of Singombe, this is what they did. Go and read the people have gone through there. Alice Mwingas, Winter Kavimba. I can mention them. Those were models to this country about Lusaka City Council. When you go there, introspect and ask yourself, are you fitting there? You should do better than them. You have a government that gives money. I can go on and on and on. I want to say thank you for your appearance. Immunity is withdrawn. From now on, you are on your own as you go back to Lusaka City Council. May God bless you. Thank you very much. The meeting is adjourned.
The Auditor General on the Constituency Development Fund for the financial year ended 31st December 2023. The committee did receive submissions from 3 local authorities today. That was Eskongo, Sioma, and Lusaka State Council, which was reappearing before the committee. Please do join us again tomorrow, 6th May 2025, as the committee still continues to receive submissions from different local authorities. On behalf of everyone in the control room, George Piri, David Mlenga, Vanji Kove, and of course not forgetting our 2 sign language interpreters, Chola Kauman, Jason Manda, I am Joe Akatama. Good evening.